Hello ladies and gentlemen, आप सभी का स्वागत है to the ROG Academy show match. आज इनका सामना होने वाला है against Asterisk Academy, and it's gonna be a banger of a game because we are going for a slightly more unique format. Normally जब आप एक best of 3 का game देखते हो, जो भी टीम 2 मैचेस पहले जीत जाती है वो टीम ओवरऑल सीरीज जीत जाती है. But today we're going for something different. Today these guys will be playing all 3 maps. At the end of the day, these show matches are an opportunity for these teams to showcase what they've been practicing, show us what they've been cooking up.
Yeah.
So we were like, why not just provide them with an extended opportunity to show more? That way, the show match actually then starts to show a lot more.
Yeah, and I think that it's a great opportunity for Asterisk Academy as well, जो VCL से में जाने तक का खुद एक try कर रहे हैं, which is actually real. They've got some interesting players, some pretty young players who have potential as well. तो काफी मजेदार मैच होने वाला है. I mean, considering that we're going all 3 maps, it is obviously a possibility कि ये 2-1 भी हो जाए, जो usually best of 3 का हो ही जाता है format. But let's have a look at what these 3 maps are going to be, irrespective of anybody winning the first 2. Okay, so starting off on Haven, we're going to Lotus, and we end up on Split. So we've got the 3 sites on the first 2 maps, and I was actually expecting maybe Ascent to come in here from Asterix, but thought they would be playing a little bit more safer. But they've gone for Lotus, which means that they will be probably looking at a neon outlook on that, because मेरे को लगता है कि जितना I've seen at least young players, right? There's even though Neon has been nerfed to the point जहाँ पे she was previously a base agent, she has been nerfed beyond that as well. She's still one of the most powerful agents in the game, irrespective. So
yeah, and especially on a map like Haven, अगर आपके पास जो initiators है वो आपको अच्छे से setup कर रहे हैं, the Neon can be an absolute terror to deal with. Plus she's kind of self-sufficient as well. Haven जैसे map पे जहाँ पे आप fast lane का इस्तेमाल करके you can dive into some places. That dive alone can make your opponents nervous because now they have to look at the choke point जहाँ से आपने entry ली है and where you are currently. With your teammates just flooding in behind you, it becomes very difficult to deal with. Between Neon and Jet, I would definitely prefer Neon on Haven. I think I've just started to dislike Jet in general. Like apart from opping, I don't really see the advantage of having a Jet in the team. I mean, और अगर आपको opper ही बिठाना तो आप chamber भी बिठा सकते हो. So that way, I'm starting to really prefer the Neon these days.
No, I think I agree with you. I think the Neon is viable on I think every single map. It's just a shame that nobody really realized that potential until she was buffed. And now, even though she's been nerfed before she was nerfed, to the point where before she was nerfed, it's just crazy to think that Neon ki potential sirf abhi log dekhe for the last 1 year after she got that insane amount of power. Lekin I think that it is an agent that I also would prefer over Jet. People would say, like, oh yeah, Neon, a little bit lesser skill players. I don't care, man. I enjoy the ultimate, okay? I enjoy the ultimate.
How, wait, did किसी ने तुम्हें बोला है कि Neon is a low skill agent?
No, not a low skill agent. Lower skill compared to Jet.
हाँ bro, नहीं मैं उनकी बात नहीं मानता.
Considering that you get the knives which are aim based and the Neon, right there it is, like I said, Asterisk, of course we're going to go for Neon. There's no other way around it. Neon ki ultimate is basically the most personified way of a run and gun ultimate, right?
अच्छा, इसलिए हाँ, okay, in that aspect I think it's people's ego speaking कि Jet requires way more precision, which is correct. Just because it requires precision doesn't mean it's a necessarily high skill or a low skill.
I prefer the Neon over. I think you can even opt on the Neon, man. I think it's not about escapism that comes with Jet just as well. Neon can escape as well after taking one shot almost, or if not just as quickly, but just almost as quickly, I would say. But yeah, let's see what they've got on the attack now, because Asterix are starting on the attack, and ROG continuing with the same comp that they had the last time we saw them on Haven against .exe as well. So the only one change, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Sinks playing today for ROG Academy in place of Max, who unfortunately could not be here for this game.
And that too for the first 1 or 2 maps, because Max has an exam going on. I can't obviously expect him to skip his exam for this.
Yes.
So as soon as he's back for that, I think for map 3, Max might just join us.
Yeah, well, let's hope for it. Max, I hope कि उनका एग्जाम अच्छा जाए. He
Yeah,
gets
same bro.
he gets a
खेल तो
good.
अच्छा लेता है वो, लेकिन I don't know how well he studies. So I
Yeah,
really hope his exam is nice.
well, we'll find out soon enough. For now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be starting off with Asterix on the attack. And while I do enjoy this neon comp, we've seen that ROG Academy have found ways to counter it. उन्होंने पहले भी काफी नियॉन कॉम्प्स के अगेंस्ट खेला है. उन्होंने अच्छी तरह से काउंटर भी किया है. They use Caramel's breach really well in particular. And it seems like they want to go on the aggressive foot themselves. ROG Academy taking a bit of a stance towards C long, जहाँ पे उन्होंने already दो plays को push कर चुका है. But Asterisk Academy are heavy on that A side. While there is an alarm bot waiting to cover that up, I think it can be smoked through. No, it's going to be broken. And now that's going to give Asterisk Academy the incentive to run in towards the A side.
Turrets destroyed.
Yeah, लेकिन सिंक्स को काफी information मिल चुकी है. Meanwhile, C contact has been made. RBS manages to get one kill, but he relays all this information to his teammates, tells them कि listen, heavy C push आ रहा है. हमने A पे जो space ली है, let's capitalize on that and let's hold it to the iron fist now. Plant done. 4v4 retake inbound.
Yeah. Sinks sitting on heaven waiting for his teammate to join in ताकि वो एक recon मार के यहाँ पे थोड़ी information निकाल ले. Flash भी तैयार, one tap बहुत चाहता है वो अंडर साइड stun बहुत बढ़िया. 11 को एक मिल गया, लेकिन he couldn't follow it up. Sinks jumps down from heaven, gets 2, and that's gonna award ROG with a 1v1 at the end. Lavish versus the Sova, and is only going to be 1 HP on both ends. They're still firing bullets, but Redox, he wins it in the end. थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे पेशेंस का गेम लविश को फोर्स किया कि वो आके पीक करे, क्योंकि टाइम उनके अगेंस्ट था, एंड दैट्स गोना अवॉर्ड हिम राउंड नंबर 1.
Yeah, and Lavish heaven से नीचे कूदते कूदते उनने एक साइबर केज का भी इस्तेमाल किया, which kind of kept his teammates alive for a second, क्योंकि 11 के stun ने दो players को पकड़ लिया था. That would have been dangerous. And the flashes from Caramel also quite good, helping Lavish get that first kill. Could have been possible on the second as well, लेकिन you know, just run and gun करते करते playing around the corner, Redoxin manages to clutch the round, and that was a great performance from Redoxin as well, with Asterisk Academy getting the first round.
फ्लेम एक स्पॉट जरूर हुआ था वहां पे. आई थिंक ही स्पॉटेड हिज शोल्डर. ही इज कीन ऑन जस्ट चेकिंग इट अगेन. नथिंग टू बी स्पॉटेड. लेकिन एस्टेरिक्स एकेडमी है प्लेइंग दिस विद लिटिल पेशेंटली. उनको यहाँ पे कोई जल्दी नहीं है किसी भी तरफ फाइट लेने की. लेकिन सी साइड फिर से वो एंटायर पार्ट ऑफ द मैप गवा दिया गया. एक अलार्म बॉट रखे. आई थिंक दिस इज अ प्रीटी यू नो solid default from them. They just don't care that much about the C main side as long as they've got information on that point. And well, Asterisk Academy are checking every single corner meticulously. Every single second they move forward, there is a flank that could grow. Alarm bot भी वहां से निकाल दिया गया है. And exactly the same moment, we've got information. Lavish ने अपनी टीम को बता दिया है, लेकिन थोड़ी सी देरी ही सही, लेकिन उनको पता है कि ये साइट है. And बोलते ही बोलते 11 के पास यहाँ पे जो attacking outlaw, which is not something you see on the usual on the neon, यहाँ पे पहला किल निकालते हुए.
Oh, Lavish flank करने के लिए आए थे, but he's gonna go away from there and decide to go along with the rest of his teammates from CT. And ये information pass कर दी गई है. Everybody now prepared for the imminent assault, imminent retake. 11 with the outlaw guarding heaven. Great first shot. Laflame dives inside, लेकिन फिर भी उन्हें कोई kill नहीं मिलने वाला. Armed with just classics and sheriffs, there's not much that ROG Academy can do in this round. The only thing is, don't give 11 too many kills, नहीं तो उनका ultimate बहुत जल्दी तैयार हो जाएगा. इस attacking outlaw ने 3 frags निकाल दिए हैं इसी round के अंदर, and that's not something you get to see on a regular basis, so that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, I really wouldn't mind even if Levin just gives up the outlaw to somebody else and takes another off by dying to the spike if somebody's only having a pistol. But I guess everybody's bought in from them. Would have been an interesting thing to see, क्योंकि फिर ultimate I think would have been available in this round itself. I think they all had their guns available to them.
Yeah, they had most of their guns available. They didn't lose a single weapon. And that's why they have Outlaws, Guardians, Bulldogs, Spectres. एक Vandal भी है RBS के हाथ में. So, decent enough buy for Asterisk Academy, even though they didn't really invest much in this round. But for ROG, Phantoms and Vandals across the board, full investment आएगा उनकी तरफ से. Oh, look at that. Laflame को आगे भेजा जाएगा. Caramel, meanwhile, एक fault line खींच के रखे हैं. He's gonna use that towards window if required. But Lavish and Redoxin, they exchange frags towards garage. And while the other people of Asterisk Academy are looking to venture up grass, they don't realize that Laflame is already towards bottom window. At one point, Caraville उनको backup देने के लिए वहीं पे मौजूद थे, but he's also moved away and he's gonna go re-clear a shot now. काफी chances है वहाँ पे Asterisk Academy आ सकती है, क्योंकि early grass control दिखाने के बाद कोई और presence नहीं दिखाई है उन्होंने.
Yeah.
But instead, Asterisk, they are going to just venture across towards both mid as well as C-Long.
They drone, but they didn't check him. No,
Yeah.
they didn't check him. Earlier in the round, जब वो turret लगाया गया था, it did turn towards the right. I'm not sure if the killjoy actually spotted that. कि turret right की तरफ पहले घूमा था मारने के लिए.
हाँ, but वो turret के fight के बाद उन्होंने
काफी
already
time हुआ.
Lavish पे kill निकाल दिया, and it's been quite a long time.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, even though ROG Academy don't have info, they have a inkling कि यहाँ पे attack आ सकता है. That's why One Tap Goddess is using spokes to delay them.
Oh, that's a brilliant shot from 11.
30 seconds left.
Well done to get that kill, and that opened the C-side. बहुत ही बेहतरीन यहाँ पे decision making Asterisk की तरफ से.
Spike planted.
मिड नहीं गए, उनको पता था कि मिड पे काफी ज्यादा अनसर्टेनिटी है. सी पे कैमरा उन्होंने forgive me, not camera, साइफर के मरे हुए काफी टाइम हो गया, so they know that the C side would be a little bit more easier to take, and it was a great decision. And now on the post plan, they've got 4v3 here. Laflame flank पे आते हुए काफी देर ही सही, लेकिन आए जरूर. एक ने यहाँ पे किल निकाल लिया. करामिल नॉट रेडी फॉर दैट फ्लैंक टुवर्ड्स स्पॉन रीजन, और यहाँ पे एक 1v3 पहले भी लाफ्लेम ने इसी साइड पे एक 1v3 निकाला था पिछले एक शो मैच में. इस बार भी निकालने की कोशिश, 2 किल निकाल गए. आउट विद द आउटलॉ. इसी का भी एबल टू कनेक्ट. ही विल, बट देयर इज नो टाइम. लाफ्लेम, oh my god, इंडिविजुअल ब्रिलियंस यहाँ पे जरूर उन्हें दर्शाया, लेकिन अनफॉर्चुनेटली समय उनका दोस्त नहीं रहा.
Race to the spike side.
Sheesh. I was having flashbacks when it was यही side पे उन्होंने पिछले शो मैच में
Yeah.
एक 1v3 clutch and a 1v2 clutch दोनों निकाले हैं. 2 clutches इस बार भी निकाल ही लेते, लेकिन Asterisk Academy playing it smart. उन्हें मालूम है कि वक्त उनके साइड पे है, so they just boiled the time down. And Laflame, even though those frags were amazing, even though he manages to get all the kills, unfortunately, no clutch for you.
One enemy remaining. This is nothing.
Hopefully इस outlaw के साथ he can anchor down C side by himself, and यहाँ पे काफी सारे लोग आने तो वाले हैं, but all of them have full body shields, so एक player को 2 bullets लगेंगे.
Oh no, oh
Missed
no.
opportunity.
Oh, okay. That works. I guess that
Somehow.
works. Yeah. He's still alive though. I thought he'd be able to get second. Not going to be possible though. Arrow's going to take him down. Sinks 2 बार यहाँ पे blind होने की खातिर उनको पीछे जाना ही पड़ेगा. Arrow holding the back of line. थोड़ी सी यहाँ पे उनको मदद की जरूरत पड़ सकती है. Redox ने already करामिल को निकाल दिया. And the strong start from the attacker side, and Lavish missing everything he possibly saw on the screen. हर शॉट मिस हुआ, और यहाँ पे क्वांट्रा थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे सेफ खेलते हुए दोनों तरफ यहाँ पे उनकी नजर, लेकिन स्पैम से उनकी लाइफ घटती हुई. एक बुलेट, लेकिन वो खुद यहाँ पे जिंदा स्टन बाहर निकाल के शेरिफ पे शूट करके करना क्या चाहते हैं क्वांट्रा. I know he wanted to just waste time as much as possible because he's alone on side, because the other two are just playing for round condition win, and that is going to be number 4 for the Academy of Asterisk. Really well done. A little scrappy, थोड़ी सी यहाँ पे मुश्किल जरूर आई, लेकिन मुश्किल ज्यादा okay, काफी मुश्किल, लेकिन मुश्किल यहाँ पे काफी मुश्किल यहाँ पे ROG को हो रही है, and AKG is not happy with that. 4 राउंड ऐसे गवा दिए उन्होंने. But I like the fact that ROG is not ROG, forgive me, Asterisk Academy are sticking to a lot of this, you know, structure that clearly they've developed in the last couple of, you know, weeks that they've been together. It's so simple that everybody knows their roles. जैसे ही post plant आता है, सबके roles defined है, right? You can see where the Omen's going to be. You can see where the Neon's going to be. You can see where the Breach is going to be. There's different layers of contact to each of those post-plant situations. और बाकी के 2 जो players बचे हुए हैं, who are the absolute last end of the line defense, are the Killjoy and the Sova, who have the post-plant utility. So I really like that it's basic, but it's being well done. क्योंकि जो site पे भी खेल रहे हैं, वो या तो एक दूसरे को compliment कर रहे हैं with even if it's a 1 second late trade, it's coming through, या फिर टाइम वेस्ट करने में वो बहुत बेहतरीन तरीके से just staying alive on the side. And ROG, honestly, I'd say they're getting a little nervous taking these fights against these kids.
Yeah, maybe शायद इनका homework नहीं हुआ है, warm up नहीं हुआ है, because ROG Academy tactically they're not making any massive mistakes or anything yet. It's just that they've missed some opportunities, missed a couple of shots. And that too in just this round alone, and that too was just lavish. So maybe I'm a little biased when I say that. लेकिन फिलहाल के लिए won't be any problems. Great 2 shots from left lane, but the Hunter's Fury might just get him. Dash करके निकल जाएंगे वो. One type god also teleport करके has come into the rescue. The aftershock will clear him out, but the flash is brilliant once again, letting him get the advantage in the duel. It's all up to Redoxin and RBS now. RBS
Deploying drone.
Garage से sneak in करने की कोशिश करेंगे, but Caramel's marking this angle. Drone clear out करने जाएगा. Doesn't see anyone towards the other side as well. And once again, Laflame knows exactly where Redoxin could be. Aim trained over here. And I think he's going to win this fight. Even if he doesn't, Caramel will just help him out and get the trade. Mainly, अभी ये पूरा round RBS के कंधों पे निर्भर करेगा. Because he's the only person who can make a difference. If he can win the duel against one tap god, this might just let him get a kill on Caramel as well. But yeah, that's not going to happen. He does lavish. Hear him, the Sinks know about his presence. Yeah, pretty decent round by ROG Academy. And mostly it's thanks to Laflame getting the shots down with his op. Plus, Caramel helped him out with the fault line whenever it was necessary. One tap god used his paranoia to keep the enemies at bay. And just like that, ROG Academy, they rotate quite quickly and they overwhelm Asterisk Academy with their utility. Just don't let them enter the site.
Yeah, at the end there, 11 ने भी खुद को ही stun कर दिया था. I think he missed his bolt, and over there it was a bit of a problem. क्योंकि जब वो slide किए, he just walked into the crosshair of Laflame as a stunned Neon. There's not much more.
I thought that was Caramel helping him, no? Or was it
No,
his own
no, no. The
bolt?
stun came, Caramel's stun came just a second later. He was already dead by then. Yeah.
Oh, damn. Oh, yeah, so that must have been a self-relay bolt.
Yeah, it was. Well, 4-1 now. Op इस बार गराज के बाहर और टारगेट उस तरफ जरूर मौजूद है, लेकिन क्या ये एक free target होगा? No, he's gonna have to be blinded, pushed away, and he will get away from here. But here comes the ultimate. Fault line to cover it up. No, there's no fault line from the breach. 11 को ऐसे ही अंदर जाना पड़ा, and he will get the kill though. Caramel's been hurt now, so they know Garage is already taken care of. So they're gonna have to hold on again to those post-ban positions. फिर से वही situation, लेकिन इस बार सबके सब बाहर निकलते हुए उनको पता है कि they can play on a quadruple swing if need be as well, because they don't really have any utility for information at this point. It's just gonna be on the back of their peaks. Aftershock, fault line, everything coming through. Flash is on the back of it as well. Sinks gets one. Will not follow up on the second. No, he will. He's got 2 more targets. Does not check the corner. He does. Never mind. Sinks. Once again, it is an individual who comes out on top. एक-एक कदम आगे निकल लेते गए और एक-एक कदम के साथ उनको एक-एक kill भी मिलता गया. Really well done there. And honestly, a bit questionable from the side of Asterisk for to situate 3 players inside that cubby.
Yeah, एक fault line, एक aftershock आएगा, आप तीनों के तीनों मारे जा सकते हो with that one easy combination. Caramel can farm all those kills without even looking at you. तो वो, yeah, 3 players being in the cubby was a bit difficult. I'm actually surprised कि यहाँ पे Aero के पास time था to just shrouded step away from that cubby spot. And even then, Sinks invading in with Caramel just launching flashes from behind him. That was great. काफी अच्छा coordination था उन दोनों Sinks के बीच में and Caramel के बीच में, which is why they are able to get all the kills and get the retake as well. But one tap god, he's gonna have a lot of work to do. काफी सारे players जाएंगे उनकी तरफ. Left side पे relay bolt, right side पे breach का fault line and the flash. Yeah, that's a death sentence. There's no way he's surviving that. Meanwhile, Caramel mid के bottom पे sneak in कर गए थे और उनको वहाँ से एक kill मिल गया है. He's gonna be on the backstab now.
Ooh, I thought he actually connected there, but here comes the ultimate rolling thunder. यहाँ पे डाल दिया गया just to take control of spawn. लेकिन Laflame तैयार है with the shorty as well, and here comes the Hunter's Fury. लेकिन जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी क्योंकि Lavish तैयार है Aero के push के लिए, and commitment to the max here in terms of ultimates on both sides. Redox just holding on that drone. That was actually very good from him, not sending the drone forward, but just holding on for information to come his way. Oh, the recon doesn't connect on the first, and it will not allow him to even catch on the bullet to Lavish's head. It's going to be the opposite instead, and 3 rounds in a row on the back of what seemed to be a very effective timeout from the coach for ROG.
Yeah, and I really thought that in that 4v5 retake, Asterisk Academy will have what it takes to hold on. क्योंकि one tap god को तो बहुत overwhelm कर दिया था उनने. इतने सारे flashes, इतने सारे suns के साथ one tap god को escape करने का भी chance नहीं मिला और वो तो पूरी तरह से मारे गए. Then the retake जो शुरू हुआ, that was incredible because they kind of were I don't know if they expected Asterisk का aggression कि they just prepared for it in the moment, but जैसे ही Contra ने वो Rolling Thunder का इस्तेमाल किया, most of Asterisk Academy just went ahead to continue fighting, and at that time लविश को मालूम था कि वो सारे प्लेयर्स वो सीटी वाले नैरो चोक पॉइंट पे रहेंगे. एट दैट पॉइंट उन्होंने अल्ट खोल दी, काफी सारा chaos हो गया एस्ट्रिक्स के कॉम्स में. You could see कि they are not trading each other properly, mostly because they're just struggling to dodge the Hunter's Fury, and उसी chaos का advantage लेते लेते Caramel and Laflame दोनों ने काफी सारे अच्छे kills निकाले.
Yeah, they split up actually. ROG Academy दो तरफ बट गए, लेकिन the problem was कि Asterisk Academy भी दो तरफ बट गए, which was a bit of a problem for me because अगर Rolling Thunder आप डाल भी रहे हो, and you know there's a Hunter's Fury on one end coming out in front of you, which means that there's only one player to support, and the Hunter's Fury guy, Sova, cannot fight for himself, right?
Yeah.
So you saw the Neon go towards B to try and catch Laflame, while the other two went towards Spawn to try and catch the Sova, which was a bit of a miscom over there. क्योंकि अगर वो एक साथ एक जगह जाते तो शायद उनको थोड़ा और वैल्यू मिलता.
Yeah. Like जैसे ही Sinks ने वो Hunter's Fury खोला, and you're right, they did split up over there. So half them tried to chase down Sinks, half them tried to chase down Laflame. You need to decide which is the more important target, the Opper or the Hunter's Fury. I think once again one tap god को शायद overwhelm किया जाएगा यहाँ पे. जैसे ही उन्हें ड्रोन सुना, पता पड़ गया कि काफी सारे लोग अंदर आने वाले, immediately paranoia and dark cover डाल दिया है just to delay them a little bit more. But I think Asterisk Academy will disrespect the smoke and come flying in. One tap god is ready for them both. Lovely double kill. Meanwhile, Aero को यहाँ B पे kill मिल गया है. B पे Laflame मारे गए and उनकी ऑप and उनकी गन पीछे जगल करते करते लेके आ गए हैं Sinks यहाँ पे, ताकि he can deny all the weapons to his opponents.
I don't know why, but RBS just was not ready for that angle, और यहाँ पे अल्ट डाल के स्पाइक जरूर निकाल दिया, लेकिन उस अल्ट का कुछ फायदा यहाँ पे लगता है नहीं कि उनको मिलेगा, क्योंकि दो प्लेयर बचे हुए. they've got a 4v2 in front of them. One tap god के पास अपने खुद अल्ट मौजूद, and he's got another smoke coming up in about 12 seconds. B की तरफ शायद इनका टेंशन बढ़ता हुआ, लेकिन Sinks वहां पे मौजूद. A is completely covered off with the camera as well. The spot's been made, and Sinks is just gonna sit and wait.
Need some help. Help करने के लिए लाविश आ तो रहे हैं, लेकिन लाविश has been taken care of. Good stun. Caramel ने दो प्लेयर को पकड़ा है. Contra stun होने के बावजूद survive कर गए. And Sinks, he's running out of time, running out of bullets, somehow escapes. Aftershock को भी dodge कर लेंगे. But now all the opportunities that they had have slipped from their hand. Caramel के पास भी कोई setup utility नहीं है, तो उनको ये smoke dry peek करना पड़ेगा.
Last player standing.
Oh my god, Aero, what have you done? ये क्या राउंड निकाल दिया है उन्होंने. इज अ 4v2, लेकिन खुद उन्होंने यहाँ पे 4 किल निकाल के अपनी टीम को एक ऐसी पोजीशन पे डाल दिया जहाँ पे वो एक क्लच निकाल सके to deny them going any further. And while Aero did most of the heavy lifting, Contra को सिर्फ एक किल की कंट्रीब्यूशन देनी थी, and that has awarded them round number 5. ROG Academy 10 सेकेंड बचे हुए थे क्लॉक पे, और उन्होंने ये राउंड ऐसे गवा दिया. That's unacceptable, honestly. Especially considering it's the B side. There's only one choke point they're entering from. You know exactly where they are.
Yeah, and all the utility that ROG used was also spot on. Like the stun that Caramel used, it hit the breach straight in the head. वहाँ पे Sinks को kill मिल सकता था. Both of them were flashed as well. काफी सारा उनको वक्त बर्बाद कर दिया था उनका. You stopped them from peeking and planting. And even then, a 2v4 clutch from
Laflame's already
Asterisk
down to
Academy.
50 HP though.
Yeah. I really hope they checked for 11. 11 के लिए check नहीं किया, and 11 manages to get the trade, but at least Laflame does get one kill. 11 blind. Caramel stunned. दोनों players को एक handicap था, and in the end, 11 recovers from the flash faster.
Well, there's your answer, ladies and gentlemen. What's better, a stun or a flash? It is definitely a stun, unless it becomes cosmetic for particularly you. 11 might miss out on one tap god here, though. एक छोटी सी टाइमिंग वहां पे जरूर हुई थी, and 11 will get the better of it towards the end. Shield भी region हो ही जाएगी उनकी. He's got 85 body health as well, so that's gonna keep him hale and healthy. So no problems here for Asterisk Academy, unless Lavish can pull off now a clutch of his own. Inspiration opponent से खुद लेके पहला kill यहाँ पे. Wonderful shot. but the second was not going to connect. Push and pull both sides, and it was pretty much an unwinnable situation towards the end. Two very different angles. 6-3, and clearly ROG Academy broken down by the fact that they lost that previous round.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, that definitely must have been a heartbreaker because 2v4 उनके कारण चलो उनका momentum तो क्या साथ ही साथ economy भी चली गई. They had to just buy their weapons and let go of a little bit of utility in this round, but now they will have to go for a full eco.
Yeah.
सिर्फ एक स्टिंगर है सिंक्स के पास. That's the only investment that they have. बाकी सबके पास सिर्फ sheriffs and half armor.
Yeah, there is a bunch of knives available to throw around as well, जो लाफ्लेम यूज करेंगे, लेकिन उनको यहाँ पे पोजीशन जरूर मिल गई है. अलार्म बॉट will detect them instantly. एक turret भी डाल दिया गया, but looks like they're going
Whoa.
for a full-on ult because they've got a player on short as well who's turning in a drone, and the minute that detects somebody, there it goes. Rolling Thunder through, and this is LaFlame's chance to shine. He's already wasted 3 knives. He will connect the 4th though, and Karamel comes in. Sinks gets one. ROG Academy losing players now, although they've traded. It's 1 player left. It's just Arrow for the 1v3, and he will not connect the bullets more than required. What a setup round. They just, honestly, the fact that nobody was hanging around from Asterisk Academy towards that C-long side was a stroke of luck for them, but a definite great read from ROG to push up mid. And जैसे ही उनको वो drone से information मिला, the ultimate and the entire combo of everybody pushing in from 3 different angles, really well done.
Yeah, that was a set play which you can't replicate again and again. ये ऐसे अच्छे वाले rounds हैं जो आप एक half में एक ही बार कर सकते हो. बाद में ये काम नहीं करेंगे. So I'm glad that ROG Academy managed to use the set play and actually win it and make it work. इसी कारण जो भी economic advantage था Asterisk Academy के पास, it has been snatched away from them. Lavish solo adventure towards the bottom of C-Long. And that's one thing that I like about ROG Academy, जो इनमें एक बदलाव आया है. From the first Showmatch to now, ये एक चीज आपने नोटिस की रहेगी कि ROG Academy now push up whenever they get the chance. Like जैसे उन्हें पता पड़ेगा कि A long पूरा खाली है, Sinks ऊपर चले गए. जैसे ही पता पड़ा C long खाली था, Lavish would push down. And because they now take space which is available to them, they will have a lot more early information. Sinks detected. He has no choice but to go for the fight, and he is going to fight. Blinded, लेकिन उनको बचाने के लिए एक कवर आ गया वन टैप गॉड की तरफ से. तो that's good help that one tap god is provided to him at long range.
Spike down.
Desperate times, desperate measures. वो स्ट्रीम इन पे अटैक करने की कोशिश करेंगे, but everybody will be ready to welcome them with open arms. And ये एक बहुत बढ़िया change है in the pacing and the overall strategy of ROG Academy, which we have noticed. Like first, second show match में जब भी उनको chance मिलता था एक space capture करने का या फिर कोई एरिया खाली मिलता था, वो बस वो खाली एरिया की इंफॉर्मेशन अपने टीममेट्स को पास कर देते, and that would be it. Now they actually take that space for themselves so that their opponents can't use it later on, and that's a genuine improvement that I've seen in this team.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think they've read Asterisk Academy really well, क्योंकि Asterisk Academy कुछ शायद 2 ही राउंड में सी गए हैं, and their default has been just to leave the alarm bot outside there and completely give up that, you know, part of the map for free. And Lavish, this time expecting it to be a similar case, gets awarded with a kill, जो उनको अपना neural theft इस्तेमाल करने के लिए, you know, use भी हो जाता है, and that's gonna give them the entire round as well. 6-5, they were 2 rounds down, they put up 2 in a row, but the problem now is, ladies and gentlemen, that they've got a Killjoy ultimate, a Hunter's Fury, and an overdrive coming their way as well. 4 ultimate यहाँ पे मौजूद Asterisk की तरफ. There is one counter of course कि Hunter's Fury मौजूद है ROG Academy की तरफ भी, जो उस Killjoy लॉकडाउन को काउंटर कर सके, लेकिन उनको यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा चौकन्ना रहना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि Asterisk Academy do have a tendency to end up pushing towards where their opponents just sit and wait for them to come in. एक अच्छी बात है कि कॉन्ट्रा को शायद इस राउंड में अल्टीमेट ना मिले, unless I don't know he gets 2 frags and 1 more ult top as well. लेकिन अभी के लिए no rolling thunders on either side, as Asterisk Academy should, based on just what's available on paper, win this round.
Yeah, they have way too many ultimates to lose this round. And RBS has joined the game again, so I think we should be good to go. No more tech timeout. Yeah, I mean, they have so much for a set play and for a retake, right? Like, look at the Sovaki ultimate and the Neon ultimate. They both can be used to enter the site. The lockdown can be used to just keep them at bay in the retake situation. On paper, Asterisk Academy should be able to not just win this round, but also get the lead of 7-5 in this half. Unless ROG Academy manage to pull a rabbit out of the hat and kill most of them before they can even get into the site. Caramel एक trap stun set करके तो बैठे हैं, लेकिन कोई भी A shot जा नहीं रहा है वो stun पे capitalize करने के लिए. Lavish playing passively. Sinks भी, he's just holding back over here. Maybe he's gonna... Oh, I thought Sinks का भी एक Hunter's Fury आएगा as soon as he stunned somebody. But site पूरी तरह से capture कर ली है Asterisk Academy ने. And now Sinks will use it as ultimate.
Oh,
Lovely one.
You should
Lavish का
run.
एक tag आया and because of that he was able to get the kill as well. Early shock dart over there to break any potential Cypher cameras. But wait, there's no Cypher on the other team, so I don't understand the point of that shock dart anymore.
Wait a moment.
well,
Lockdown respect किया जाएगा.
yeah, करना ही पड़ा. Lavish still has control though. He's on heaven and one tap god ki teleport position was also brilliant. It doesn't matter how many ults they had. Clearly, ROG Academy's momentum of just
Switching
understanding how to counter these timings has been wonderful. 6-6 उन्होंने यहाँ पे score level कर दिया है after what was a little bit of a shaky start, but never count them out.
Yeah, it was a really shaky start. Wobbly even. 4-0 lead थी Asterisk Academy में, and still the half ends at 6-6. And this was such a weird round because there was a clear game plan from the side of Asterisk Academy. They wanted to use the Hunter's Fury to clear out the CT and the A-link angles because generally ROG वहीं से retake के लिए खेलते हैं. They did that. The Hunter's Fury did not connect from Redoxin. Then Sinks uses his own Hunter's Fury, tags most of them. Lavish kills them as well while they're still entering. And RBS is forced to use the lockdown just to get the plant down. Pistol done. La Flame dives inside. Lovely paranoia. And he stunned up most of the people as well. Quite a lot of damage. But Contra, oh my god, drive by gets the better of One Tap God. One Tap God के paranoia ने La Flame को काफी ज़्यादा advantage दिलाया था, but somehow both the Asterisk players stay alive. Lavish pushes through garage, breaks open the barriers, and they managed to make headway into the seaside. But plant वो CT कर रहे हैं. Okay, they're expecting a flank from
Spike
Asterisk.
planted.
Well, Lavish already has gotten 1 point of incision towards the B side और एक और यहाँ पे मौजूद है backside पे. Redox will be able to... No, okay then Lavish, all right. यहाँ पे Lavish का जो miss था वो पहले round में, he is making up for it pretty well and hail it seems. उनको शायद गुस्सा आ गया था कि वो 2 sheriff shots जो है, 3 sheriff shots जो है connect नहीं कर पाए. And as a part of revenge, he's gone straight to the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, man. Do all players need some sort of an emotional Kickstarter like that? Do they need to whiff one round to feel personally attacked and then just start diffing everybody?
It happens in rare occasions, but I guess
Yeah.
because
It's
once
like
you
an
start
anime
whiffing,
power-up.
the usual I've seen is that you whiff more and then some more, and then
Yeah.
and then a lot more.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope generally. No, but this guy, he found some anime style power up. एक गलती करती, he's like, no, I will make up for my mistakes. I will atone for my sins, and then he just propels himself up on top. But take a look at this. ROG Academy make headway into the seaside, get all the way in towards the planting area as well, and then they fall back. Meanwhile, Caramel has entered the B side. Lovely shot from him. No follow-up, unfortunately, but at least they should be able to plant here. And they are going in for a B plant in D. They're not taking A-Link control just yet, except for Lavish. Nice shot. Dodges the paranoia as well. Ready to assassinate Aero as well. There was no way he had any backup. Turns around for the triple. And he's taking this vendetta a bit too personally. It's all up to the Toxin now. And he's getting surrounded in every single angle.
Well, Lavish clearly loves his ghost, it seems. बहुत ही crisp and clean shots from him. Manages to dodge that flash just by a centimeter, and then follows it up with a third on the side. 8 and 6, and it's absolutely... He's already 1 away from his nervous... I was gonna say nervous breakdown. What the hell? Neural theft.
Neural theft. I mean, you wouldn't be completely wrong if you said away from his nervous breakdown.
Considering how many times
Sometimes-
Cypher has died in, Riot trailers.
Cinematics?
Yeah, I think nervous breakdown makes a lot of sense. 11, a little bit out in the open. Okay.
Wow.
Very gutsy to just
That was
run away
a-
like that, especially in a straight line. He didn't even move left and right.
Yeah.
There.
And the fact that he invades all the way in there, with majority of the ROG people still present, he managed to get the kill on one tap god of all people, so no smokes available for ROG now. They're just gonna have to brute force their way in using only Caramel's utility. And while he's got plenty of that utility, they wouldn't really know that Aero is down here towards C long. This could be a nasty surprise from them.
Well, Karamel's expecting. No, that's wonderful.
Wow, timing.
He realized that very well. And now, even though there's an attack on the long side, the arrow, I thought he actually missed every shot, but he connected at least one onto La Flame. The plant's gone down. Stun from Caramel to keep them just about a couple of seconds away so that he can have
Long
time to
flank.
flank them around. And he's got the perfect timing. Lavish, he's
Oh my
doing
God.
work again. This guy is like, yep, I'm here to do my job, be the, employee of the day, whatever. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we have an employee of the day system. That's very McDonald's behavior, but he definitely could be the MVP.
Yeah, I mean,
And
by
take a look
employee of
at
the
the
day, I mean
trip-wise
player
he's
of the day. Like, yeah.
Yeah. But like, take a look at the tripwise he's placing. They're not very special. His setup is not exactly like a god tier Cypher setup. He's just aim diffing everyone.
Yeah.
And he realizes that in the post round he doesn't really have much value, so he's just gonna go ahead and act like a big gun. Oh, that's a heavy amount of aggression. A lot of utility being poured towards him, hoping to send 11 on an incision mission.
Go, go, go.
And they were trying to cut the map in half. While they have managed to isolate Lavish, C side has already fallen in tatters, and now it's just going to be up to Lavish to get as many kills as possible on this solo hunting mission. He will be hunted himself, but he's given more than enough information to his team, so now all of ROG knows that Asterisk is coming in from the backlines.
Yeah. Aftershocks exchanged on both sides, but there's a full barrage of a backstab coming in, one towards Garage as well. And just a little bit of a vertical position taken here from the Omen. One tap god just to make sure that they're not really ready for anything that's coming from their way. So many different angles to be worried about, so many different players, and nothing that Asterisk Academy could do to break that triple crossfire as they put on 10 on the board and a really wonderful run. Honestly, a lot of the work here was done by just Lavish. Even though he died, the fact that he stayed alive for that long drew in the attention of 4 players, took in so much time with the spike being just trickled down, and allowed his teammates to actually get into good positions as well. So Lavish,
Yeah.
once again, even though he died without a kill, again was probably the most important player in that round.
Exactly. Like, imagine creating so much impact by simply staying alive.
Placing a alarm
Not
bot.
something that Cyphers are known for. At least not by the cinematics, so. Yeah, his own hero arc, his own redemption arc. Spams finally get the better of him.
I know
Doesn't even see his opponent, but still got killed. Neural theft forces 11 to reposition. There's plenty of utility being thrown at him, but he's dodging almost every single thing. Sinks, as a desperation attempt, uses the Hunter's Fury, connects absolutely nothing. ROG Academy have thrown in everything but the kitchen sink over here. And still,
No, they found value though. They've got the A side for free. There's just a one turret there between them and the side, which is also going to be broken. A lineup from the Killjoy just to make sure the plant doesn't go down and gives them a little bit of rotation time. Not going to help them too much though. As Redox, I think he's hurt Lavish here, and yeah, he's going to take care of him. Instantly goes back at the 4v4. One tap god makes it easier. Brings back the advantage to his team. यहाँ पे 11 को शायद एक किल निकालने की बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत है, but Heaven से क्या ही कर सकते हैं. He will get one. He's gonna be able to take out one tap god. और अब यहाँ पे La Flame को सीधा fight लेना पड़ेगा. RBS though gets 2 back. He's not had the best of games, लेकिन ये round उनके बदौलत मिल जाएगा Asterisk को, and that is going to be number 7. Something that I don't know what happened there. How did ROG end up losing that?
I think they had these crossfires on all set up, but it somehow still resulted in them getting one-on-one fights. Like, the player on Graffiti had no backup when he was swung. I don't remember who was underneath Heaven. One of them was Caramel. There was one more
Yeah,
player.
La Flame. It was La
Could have
Flame.
been- It was La Flame, right? Yeah. So La Flame, I think he was either looking at his mini-map or he was maybe distracted when he was swung by RBS. So RBS managed to get that kill on La Flame. And La Flame didn't even like fire back. And then it just all fell into tatters. Like, a 4v4 situation became like 4 individual gunfights. So a rare occasion for ROG Academy, even after having better positions and good crossfires, they lose. But what on earth is that? Caramel just takes matters into his own hands. Dry swings and kills too. That's very unlike Caramel. I've never seen him take a dry peek, but sometimes I think he just gets tilted and decides to show them who's boss.
Yeah, and he's gonna do that for the third time maybe here. A lot of whiff bullets.
Spike down mid.
Breach fight here. That's gonna end up in the way of Contra. It is still a 3v3 though, as ROG Academy will now have to go back as a trio to retrieve that spike, which is not in their hands. And Aztecs have chosen to just give it up, honestly. They don't mind playing on the back line. They don't mind having to play for retake once again. They did successfully conclude one in the previous round, and now they're coming in close. They know one's in garage. Information gained. लेकिन दूसरा और तीसरा प्लेयर कहाँ है अभी मौजूद पता नहीं है उनको. स्मोक सीलिंग की तरफ, फ्लैश एलिंग की तरफ. एम जो है उनका लगा नहीं यहाँ पे रिडॉक्स का. खुद रिकॉन मारेंगे लेकिन प्रेशर उन पे बहुत ज्यादा यहाँ पे आता हुआ. Time.
Yeah, he just has to stay alive now.
Yeah.
Time nahi hai, and if he can just get a couple of kills, it should be good. Maybe he can get all three of them. Nope, gets overwhelmed in the end. Now, time for the plant. One tap got ऊपर position कर जाएंगे. But they have no information on where the retake is coming from. उन्हें ये नहीं पता कि दोनों ही players ही backstab से आ सकते हैं. Singh peek करने जाएंगे, but he's not looking in the right direction. Not ready to fight RBS. Now, one tap god has position on one player only. He still doesn't know where Contra is. And it's not exactly planted for heaven. You'll have to jump up to kill the diffuser. So they won't expect him here. They still do. Wins the fight. Somehow disengages.
Oh my god!
Yo!
Right before he falls to his death, he takes him out. I would do the same. Like, and at that point, it's either you die or you kill him. And
Or you die trying.
yeah, you
So he did both.
yeah, it was either one of those two. So he knew that the shorty was in good enough range to get that kill down. Contra decided to stick the defuse there for a second right before he heard him jump down. So should have just waited, would have been an easier kill for him. He had more than enough time because the spike was already half diffused. He had time. He felt the need to actually just go on for the stick there, which was a little unfortunate. A bit of a missed decision in my opinion, as now Asterisk Academy having to stop ROG from reaching match point. Stun allows ROG Academy to get in a very deep position here. And while Lavish is holding down the back line, they're going to have to hold on to the side. RBS gets two again. And somehow, someway, this Killjoy is finding impact in the final death rounds of this match here. And Lavish is still contributing to the kill feed.
Yeah, but now Contra has been kind of isolated towards Garage here. He's getting pressure from every single player, and Redoxin is unable to help him. At least Aero, he kept his position a secret for the longest possible time, and now he's managed to distract them at the best possible moment. ROG Academy took control of the site, but Asterisk somehow are amazing at playing away from it. Kept themselves alive towards Garage, managed to distract people long enough to let Redoxin come in and do God's work. And at the same time, Aero was just looking for an opportunity. Nobody is speaking him at all. Like, not a single player went and cleared out C long. They all just decided to fight collectively towards backside and CT.
Therein lied their problem. Aero might have closed that, but he's got so many more to go. They do have a Killjoy lockdown to work this around. A Hunter's Fury and the overdrive as well. Contra got a bit of contact. La Flame a little too close. He gets two out of that. I have no idea how he manages to get two, but there was a team flash that happened there. Aero ended up blinding his own teammate. Redox will get the trade back, and that's gonna devour a bit of the smoke power from the side of ROG. But Karamel's got a big bad ultimate to use here. And he might just end up pushing on towards a Killjoy. No, they're gonna choose to stay on their feet because Redox chooses to peek out for some reason. And Aero, while on the flank, he'll get one. He won't get this. No, he will get the second, but Karamel once again to the rescue. Will go in for the ultimate. Will catch one off. He has to connect this bullet, and he will match point on the back of Karamel's prowess. That came way too close for comfort.
It was way too close, and it was supposed to be like a death trap. Like, Killjoy ultimate leaves only one tiny gap that's at the bottom of A long, and even that gap was covered with a nano swarm. So basically, you either get detained or you get burned by the nano. There's absolutely no other option for you. And also, on top of that, with Aero coming in as a backstabber, you can't even go all the way towards lobby. That was supposed to be a death sentence for ROG Academy. Somehow, Caramel tanks a tiny bit of that nanoswarm damage, avoids getting detained, and has the ultimate available for the retake. With that, ROG Academy achieve map point.
Bunch of Buckies, secondary weapons, the best that they can do here, Asterisk Academy. And they've got an entire army situated towards the B and A short side. लेकिन ROG Academy यहाँ पे गराज की तरफ जाने के लिए तैयार हो रहे हैं. Flash आया A की तरफ से, but it's not going to give anything. RBS gets one and that's about it. And that's going to open up the C side as well, क्योंकि LaFlame को यहाँ पे दूसरा kill मिलता है. And they've discovered both the remaining players, two of the three remaining players on towards A. Instantly, ROG's call, let's get the hell out of here, run towards C. लेकिन Aero जो है, वो उनके पीछे पीछे वहाँ पे उनको मिलेंगे C side पे.
Yep, Aero tries to race into the C side, but are they even coming there? Because LaFlame is on B. Sinks Spike लेके अकेले जा रहे हैं C पे. अगर यहाँ पे Spike drop हो गया तो बहुत बड़ी दिक्कत आ सकती है. Once again, Aero, a hero performance is required off of him, but the timing is just the absolute
30
worst.
seconds left.
He tries to put down a smoke and that's when he gets peeked. LaFlame ने ये दूसरी बार टाइमिंग निकाली है इसी राउंड के अंदर. Neon run and gun will be stunned. The Redoxin comes in to rescue him. That saves his life. Can Sinks now make better of the situation? The Bucky up close. He wants to get away from it. Gets the range, gets the shot. And ROG Academy win map 1.
Scanning ahead.
Well, that was actually a pretty entertaining match from both teams. बहुत ज़्यादा showcase of skill यहाँ पे हमें देखने को ज़रूर मिला था. Both had some great moments. ROG Academy, I would believe, started off very scrappy, did not know what to do, but one timeout from their coach turned things around, made it a 6-6, and then second half started dominating, having a lot more control of the map, understood how to win these duels, and honestly, it kind of felt like Asterisk Academy got a little nervous towards the end of the game there. They were looking to exploit map control, like won that round where they pushed up 4 towards mid, tried to set up to kill Lavish, but he took up so much of their attention sitting in his own spawn. Apart from that, they tried to take in towards A main as well multiple times. I like the idea of Asterisk Academy. Unfortunately, it seemed like they were more confident on their attack strats and more of that, centric play rather than what they did on the defense, because they wanted map control, but it almost seemed like they didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, even if they got the map control, sometimes I think they were just too focused on their own basics and they were trying to treat it like a proper practice game where they line up all the utilities अच्छे से and सारा peaks वो dry नहीं करेंगे. And काफी बार ऐसा हुआ where players like LaFlame would just peek somebody while they are trying to set up utility. Caramel ने कितने बार RBS को मार गिराया जब RBS के हाथ में utility थी. And that's not RBS's fault because he's playing in a passive position where he can set up all that utility, but sometimes Caramel, LaFlame, these players will dry peek and the players of Asterisk Academy will not expect that. And I mean, let's be honest, you don't expect dry peaks from ROG Academy when they have specifically been training to play along with their utility all along.
Yeah. And not to mention that the individual skill of all of these players just came out and was shining in almost every round. Every round somebody new was stepping up for ROG Academy as well. Caramel had his moments. Lavish was across the entire game. Sinks had a round where he had a 4K, another round where he had a 3K. LaFlame was getting multiple entries at a point of time. Just overall, everybody on their mark in that second half for ROG Academy. And deservedly, they find the first map in their bag.
Yes, but credit where it's due. A lot of these rounds came through because of individual brilliance. As a team, ROG Academy, the only round which really impressed me, which I can confidently say was on the back of some good reads, the breach ult round. Yeah, it has to be that, because I wouldn't have expected that round, and I've never even seen them pull that off in Haven before. So clearly the team has cooked up some new strats, which even I wasn't fully aware about. And that read from Caramel to use that breach ult over there in an eco round, converting all of those wins and getting all the kills, it basically gave ROG Academy the economic momentum to continue their prowess in that half. And then this clutch from One Tap God. Have you ever seen a kamikaze attack in Valorant? Because I haven't. This was my first
No.
visual representation of a kamikaze
The
attack.
same, me too, as well. I mean, it was a pretty smart move from him, but luckily for him, he was able to connect both the shots right before he landed on his feet. So it wasn't an embarrassing moment, thankfully. And towards the end, Caramel, of course, clutching out most of this. And then La Flame doing the work that he's supposed to towards Garage. And it was a well-rounded team effort from ROG Academy.
Yeah, a really well-rounded team effort from ROG Academy, and with that, they win map number 1. Although, ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you, this is not exactly a best of 3. We will be playing all 3 maps, no matter who wins them. So even if ROG Academy wins the second map, the series will not come to an end. We will play out the third map as well. The next map is going to be Lotus. Followed by that, we will have Split. So these 3 maps will be on display today, and think we should be getting Lotus ready any moment now. Whenever the players are ready, we will be going live with the second map as well. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. This is still gonna be one banger of a day. That being said, though, Universe, I was quite surprised by the amount of progress that ROG Academy have made in the last few months. And for those who haven't really kept up with the progress of ROG Academy, let me also remind you that this is like the fourth or the fifth show match that we are hosting for them, and apart from that, they've also been playing in a couple of smaller tournaments, and they actually managed to win a tournament recently as well. It was called Apple Esports Summer Bash. Not exactly a very big tournament, not too many big names over here, but it's necessary practice for the teams. They managed to win that tournament. The momentum from winning that is also riding quite high right now. That's why they're able to probably use all that momentum in this show match as well.
Yeah, and clearly they have taken their stride in the right direction. Players understand each other better. They know what positions they want to take. The push-ups, like you mentioned as well, towards different part of the map, which is going to be another prevalent thing in this map of Lotus as well. Because again, taking control of C towards Mount, taking a little bit more control towards A, which is the usual. But are we going to see Lavish once again in a role where he's going to be allowed to move forward? Is he going to be switching on to the Viper, or is it going to be Caramel there? I don't think we've seen Lotus recently from ROG Academy. I don't think we saw it in the previous, show match as well. So I'm interested to see if there's going to be role changes even in that, because there was in Haven. Caramel did do a bit of a switch up on multiple roles. But for now, Lotus is just about getting prepared. We should be heading into Agent Select pretty soon. As Crips, what do we expect from Asterisk Academy? Do you think the Neon's going to be continuing its run, or do they
100%.
feel differently?
100%, I think the Neon's gonna be continuing its run. There's no way they don't pick the Neon, especially after 11 did such good work with the Neon. Like in the first few rounds of Haven, he was an absolute menace. He was attacking really well. So I think he's gonna continue on the Neon now. Whether that Neon is supplemented with like a breach theo setup, or are they gonna pick a double controller setup, that is something I'm not fully aware of yet. But I don't think we'll get to see a raise from them right now. We'll definitely continue seeing the Neon from Asterisk Academy.
Well, we're about to find out very soon as we get prepared for the match. Speaking of Lotus, there is. I'm not sure who's starting on the attack. I believe it is.
Asterisk Academy starting on the attack. In fact, ROG Academy starting on defense on every single game in this map we do.
Okay. All right. That's interesting to know as well. We will be looking forward to what it is, and considering that we will also be playing Split, ROG Academy, they clearly have more of an adaptability range than Asterisk Academy right now. Asterisk Academy have a structure. They try to follow it. They try to keep intact to that. They've got those horse flaps on their eyes. Well, they're not too keen on looking what's on the left and right of them. They want to play according to what they know
Laser
best.
focused.
So it's just tunnel vision. So I'm just hoping that they loosen up a little bit here, try to play a little bit on the back of what ROG do, maybe a couple of rounds, give them a bit of a freeway to see what's working on the map, what can we do differently apart from just taking aim in control, or I would love to see them set up an op as well. They didn't do that the entirety of the previous game. La Flame made good use of it, at least for the first, for a couple of rounds, I would say. Especially that one round where he got a 3K towards C long. So I would like to see Asterisk Academy also opt in for the operator. I think it would prove to be very valuable, considering that there are a few angles that ROG Academy tending to dry peak, especially like what we saw
Hmm.
from both La Flame, we saw from Caramel as well, and Lavish especially, who is on the lurk and could be caught off guard in multiple places.
Exactly, right? And that's something that I did not expect from ROG Academy. Under normal circumstances, I would have criticized the fact that they are dry peaking, but on most occasions it worked for them because sometimes Aztecs players were not aware about these dry peaks. Like, they knew that ROG Academy, if their flashes are coming in, if they are throwing in stuns, then they're about to come in and peak you. So that's when they will be somewhat prepared. But if you see absolutely nothing, if ROG Academy are using contact plays and they just walk up on you and dry peak you, you are not going to be prepared for that. And because of that, there were several occasions where Redoxin, where Aero was caught off guard. There was even a moment where RBS was just simply unable to capitalize on all the setups that he was doing because he was still busy lining them up, and Caramel just dry peaks him and kills him. So yeah, there were a couple of those unfortunate instances. Although there is a bit of a change here. The agent selection doesn't really surprise me, but what does surprise me is that Asterisk has swapped out one of their players.
Yeah.
RBS, the killjoy from last game, is not going to be playing anymore.
Yeah, it's going to be Zon who's come in. And while most of them have maintained their roles, Zon is coming here as a sub. Aero's taken over the Sentinel role now because Asterix are playing on a double initiator base here.
Hmm.
Having Wise as the only Sentinel, they're going to have to keep tabs on multiple parts of the map just to make sure that they don't lose out on pushes on one end compared to the other. Well, after getting a bit of contact towards CA and A, they're going to head towards B with a fake towards the A side. 11 gonna have to push up a couple of players back, but there's multiple in this tunnel area here. Lavish gonna spot the B main push in, and his turret helps him out
One enemy remaining.
as ROG just completely encircle this side of Asterisk Academy. They had what it just happened? They went into contact on C, went back towards A, had 3 players on B main, put in pressure on A that allowed one tap go to start just walking out of C main for free, and they didn't even bother on destroying the turret, which slowed them, gave them a little bit of damage, distracted their attention towards the end, and Lavish got 2, then came one tap god. Basically, Asterisk Academy were fully lost in this.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't help that ROG Academy were mostly stationed towards B. That was a wrong name, but no problem. Yeah, but they were mostly stationed towards B and the surrounding areas. Like, they were in the process of rotation as well, right? So even if you manage to somehow surprise and get a kill on one ROG player, all 4 of them will then turn around and get the better of you. Nice. One tap god. I don't often see him dry peeking like this, but he's just feeling himself now. Plus, he didn't have a weapon. He only had a ghost, so he doesn't mind giving up his life early on as long as he can secure at least one man advantage.
Yeah. The first kill was good. Second, not really necessary. Sinks spots out one player towards the A side, but he's gonna still hold that jump line as they slowly start moving in towards that player itself, expecting that maybe Sinks is not gonna have a weapon upgrade. They want to fight him, and Sinks is just playing this well, taking a step back every single time he spots a player. All the way inside, Caramel playing on the back of that contact. Flash is good, stun is better, and he's gonna just take down everybody by himself. That's gonna be another great run from ROG Academy. First one was flawless, second one close to it. As we move in with, honestly, ROG having a decent buy. They've got a bunch of Guardians. One tap god's going to be able to buy in a Vandal here. This is a solid round that could be converted on the bonus for ROG Academy.
Yeah, they've got an Outlaw as well. In fact, the Outlaw has been passed over to Lavish. Interesting. I really thought La Flame would be the one using it, but makes sense to give it to Lavish since he's going to be playing this passively. Last time, at least, One Tap God was playing aggressively ahead with him. This time, One Tap God is just going to be playing towards B, maybe as a rotation towards C. He's just going to float between the two sides, but there's a massive brawl happening towards the A side now. 11 manages to get both the 2 kills. Caramel tucked away in a corner. The Haunt will finally reveal him. Not gonna lie, it is kind of weird to see Caramel on the Omen. I've often seen him on the Initiator exclusively. But this is a rather clean round from the side of Asterisk Academy.
Spike planted.
Yeah, 11's got most of the attention here, and he's gonna get the final one as well. Oh my god, the stun. They knew exactly where he was. 11, well done. Starts off their winning stride with an ace, and picking up just exactly where he left off the previous map in terms of at least being that impactful entry fragger, the incision point.
That was insane. Teammates as well. The flashes coming in from Contra. The fault line as well. Manages to set up 11 perfectly for the first 2 stuns. Then the Haunt to discover Caramel in the corner over there. It's all too good. Heavy A setup. 4 players of ROG Academy. Stationed towards the A side. The Prowler detects 1. Do they know that there's more players on the corner? 11 once again gets a double. And all those spearheads, all the aggression that ROG Academy was showing, that spear has been blunted now, forcing them to take a step back. And honestly, this gives so much breathing room to Asterisk Academy, because look at this. Aero can also now sneak in towards the B side if he desires to. Prowler catches Caramel. Paranoia won't save him, but One Tap God will. One Tap God saves him from both the players. Lovely double kill from him, but Aero comes up with a double of his own, putting him in a 1v1 against Lavish. And he's had plenty of clutches so far, but can he pull one off against Aero now?
Well, he's gonna go in from 3, no real deceptions here. He's just gonna maintain himself to get into that side. He heard the flash as well, Lavish. Now he knows that the site is where exactly this player is. Oh, that's gonna give a sound cue. Aero. He's gonna hear that and go peek him. And he's gonna take him out pretty easily as well. Gets another ultimate off on the back of that plant, and that's 1 away from the Steel Garden as Asterisk Academy claw back around on the back of a 1v3 clutch from Aero.
Yeah. 1v3 clutch. I mean, the first 2 kills were absolutely amazing. He manages to get the trade right on time. Even though he wasn't in the position to get that trade, he somehow manages to get it done on individual brilliance. So an ace from 11 and then a 1v3 from Aero give Asterisk Academy 2 rounds back to back. And that puts ROG in an eco. Oh my god. Zon putting smokes in the open. You could see that he was in the Shadow Realm. He got killed in the Shadow Realm as well. No coming back from that. Still, he's going to use the snake bite to clear out the right side. Sound cue given away. Stun, also good enough. Can 11 get the better of them? Yes, he will get one, but gets instantly traded. One Tap God with a quadra.
That was extremely questionable, in my opinion, from the side of Asterisk Academy. Aero! Oh my god, this guy is absolutely on point. He's going for the Steel Garden play here. And he's gonna lose his own bullets. It's not gonna be the opponent. He's gonna lose his own bullets in the end. Oh, that is poetic. Unfortunately, it was not justice. It was injustice. But very interesting that Asterisk Academy chose to go past a Viper's orb while they know there's at least 2 players on the other end there. And it could be a very easy crossfire that could, you know, just break them down. And they lost 4 players to 1 guy. But Aero once again brought it close. Unfortunately, this time his own gun gives away.
Yeah, suffering from success, man. All the shots he used connected so well. Oh my god, that judge could have done so much more. And 11 skateboarding across the Viper's pit would have been the perfect spearhead to break this entire pit open, but somehow fails. Zon, he manages to connect a kill through the smoke. One Tap God and Lavish both die. The judge that was supposed to dismantle the Viper's pit failed, but they still somehow get the Viper's pit offline, and that is just bonkers. Fade ultimate hits Caramel square, but the Paranoia gets returned to him. And even though his enemies were blind, they still managed to get the kill on Caramel. What a way for Asterisk Academy to just brute fest their way into the side and win the round nonetheless. They had no utility advantage whatsoever. But they still win.
Yeah, Arrow's just been absolutely incredible the last 3 rounds. He managed to get even that double flank once again all by himself while the remaining 2 went in to take the guy on spawn. And clearly he is a man to be feared right now. ROG Academy, rendered to just pistols, have to just work on the back of what they know best. A turret a little deep as Lavish sets himself up for a bit of a bait play from his own little 6th man. There is a crossfire available as well if he wants Karama to come help him. No, he's just going to get away. A smoke towards C, a recon outside of A. Broken down. They should keep ROG Academy glued to their seats as to where they are currently. But C is just being watched. A is just being watched. The real point of contact is towards B. Lavish. Great off angle. He gets away with one. Will not find the
Timing.
second. The bullets through the box spam were just not good enough to take him out all the way because he was holding a bit of an off angle and some of them just ended up missing. Now,
Also, the moment he hears the rotate, he just speaks out, and none of his teammates are there to protect 11. So,
yeah.
yeah, he knew he was going to die, but 11 still dies in the end.
Oh,
Like
one
shot by
tap
one
God.
tap. Honestly, that's all that I expected of him in that situation.
I expected him not to get anything. He actually got one. That's great. And La Flame's got an ultimate, by the way, and he still has nades. He has a nade. He has 2 satchels. He's got a boom bot as well. This is a lot of utility, but it seems like they're not interested on that C plant. They're going all the way towards A, and they will have just about enough time. Checking every single corner. Contrast is holding the spike in his hand, and back they move. Karamel's heard all of
10
this.
seconds left.
And while the plant's gonna be definitely coming down, will they lose a player in transition? Yes, they will.
Planted.
Here comes the rocket. Contra count here where the race is coming from, so he can't even dodge. The fade ult gets the better of him, but no, the rocket is kind of useless. It's all up to Zon. Gets the kill onto Caramel. Down to a 1v1 between him and Sinks, and he pre-fires across the corner. 1v2 clutch once again to win the round for Asterisk Academy, and this is after they baited out a massive ultimate, the showstopper from La Flame.
I'm not sure why La Flame just chose to just fire it right there. He could have waited for a couple of seconds more and then he went and peeked by himself. Although, yes, the trade came through. I feel like that showstopper had a little bit more time on it to be expired. I wish we could see it, but it's just... I feel like he could have waited for a second more and fired it a little bit more towards the left side because that ultimate did actually 0 damage to Contra.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. Would have been a very different round if the ultimate actually worked and did something. But they still got the kill onto Contra nonetheless. It's Zon that really had to be taken care of. He didn't play the last map, so he's feeling kind of fresh. And Zon, ever since he's entered the fray, things have been slightly easier for Asterisk Academy. Doors opened. Actually draws out the rotation from ROG. They believe that the A hit is imminent, but Asterisks are actually heading towards C.
Yeah.
And now Sinks will finally be able to hear all of this, but it's a little too late. He can't stop them.
I mean, I think they wanted to intentionally leave the seaside on a retake because they do have the Nightfall available. So it's not a bad idea. And they have the lockdown as well, by the way. But it seems like Asterisk Academy are going to come on an attack of their own. They realize there's a breach ult, and that's exactly why One Tap God said, okay, you know what, we should take a step back. Here comes the lightning shots. And they're going to connect onto one. Not a second. It will. No, Lavish gets 2 back. The Aftershock's going to keep them at bay for a second more. A bunch of utility being thrown towards spawn, but La Flame's ready. He dives into the site. The site's cleared off. Here comes the Killjoy ult as well. They're going to take out the guy on towards main. And the last player standing, Arrow, is on the flank. He's going to have to destroy the Killjoy
He doesn't break
ultimate.
the lockdown?
He doesn't go for it.
He goes for neither the lockdown break, and he gives away a sound cue, and the spike isn't planted for him. Wait, was it planted for him? It was planted for Mound, right?
It was plant. I mean, basically, it's a plant if he just kind of swings out to the right a little bit. So,
Yeah. But even then, it's... Oh, man. Imagine going for such a big flank, and that flank would have been lovely, but he's a bit too late.
yeah. 4-4, things keeping level so far. It has been really good stuff from both teams, honestly. They've got their moments. And Asterisk Academy, once again, showing what the power of speed can do probably here towards the A side. All 5 of their members on the way. Lavish, the only one between them and this A side, has left it on for retake as ROG Academy were hoping for a bit of a contact push and a fight towards C. They're going to have to concede A as they're going to watch the plant come down. And this is going to be a pure 5v5 retake with no ultimates on the back of anything. And Lavish, unlucky to not get that kill. Honestly, he should have been able to finish that off. La Flame will get 11 though. And Lavish finally picks off that kill. Zon will manage to survive, but his teammates are falling like a bunch of Legos.
Whew. I really thought Zon would be the first one to take contact over there, but literally nobody peeks him towards drop. Everybody just goes in towards the side directly from heaven, jumping down from ropes. Lovely paranoia from Caramel as well. I mean, even though he's playing the role of a controller, he's still got his initiator habits. You know, he's gonna flash for his teammates so that one tap god and Lavish, I'm sorry, not Lavish, Laflame can swing across and get the kills they need. Amazing stuff. And yeah, sure, Lavish failed to get the kill initially, but he managed to keep tabs on the player who was playing towards tree. Got the kill on him nonetheless. No surprises, no unexpected guests from ROG Academy over here. They take no prisoners.
ROG, Lavish finds one almost at the edge of a second there. And he's gonna confirm it. I don't know why Zon speaking that all by his lonesome there. Wall's been triggered, but it seems like Laflame doesn't care much about it. He should though. Arrow and Redox find one back. Caramel will make it a little more difficult. He's gonna go on the wide swing, and Redox still firing on his shots. Spike a little away from him. He's got a Prowler to work with, and he knows a one-tap god's gonna get a little antsy here. But no, as long as ROG maintain the crossfire here, there's nothing to be worried about.
Yeah, one on the left, one on the right, and neither of them is gonna peek you.
I'll find you.
Spike way in the open.
We'll catch them.
You're gonna have to travel across this treacherous no man's land to somehow recover the spike, but even that's not possible. ROG Academy managed to get the lead. They've got 6 rounds now. A couple more and they should be firmly in the driving seat.
Yeah, again, Asterisk Academy having a bit small, very tiny, moments of distraction here. Zon, I don't know why he chose to peek on the back of that Prowler, even though it was just himself. Nobody else was peeking behind him. So these individual fights that they're giving off in these rounds, usually Nikos, you should fight these guns together. Your pistols could do wonders, but small moments like these could take away a lot of your confidence. Once again, it is ROG on the defense, but they seem to be very confident to be on the aggression here. Arrow, he's gonna have to just break that alarm board. Plays on the back of one tap god coming through, but not gonna be the case. Now they're gonna progress further. Here comes ultimate on one side. One tap god's found Arrow on the main side. La Flame connects another. And as long as he's alive here, his teammates are going to come in and help him, as they will, as they should. And Redox, he's standing up. He's holding strong. He's going through, but he's not going to find the kills. Too much to shoot upon. 7-4. And once again, ROG Academy, every round that they've won so far, it's been equal in the first 8 rounds. It was exchanging rounds blow for blow. But the minute they put up 2 in a row, they found the confidence to move in further and make Asterisk feel as uncomfortable as possible, make it a third, and now put them on a bit of a rescinded bye. This is going to be most likely an 8-4.
Yeah, and the speed at which ROG Academy have been rotating in the last few rounds is insane. At one point, they were ready with a 2-man interception towards B. And the immediate next moment, all 3 of them rotate via Baby Bay door and they are ready to help out Laflame. Oh, sliding through the snake fight. They beat one tap god to the punch. And 11 uses the fast lane to get away from there as well. But at least Caramel has secured a trade by swinging the door open. Lavish was supposed to be the lone guardian of the A side, but he's been taken down by Arrow's guardian. Oh, lovely ultimate by Caramel. Could have been amazing if he dug it a little bit deeper into tree, but he's been forced to cancel it. So Asterisk will get the plant in 11. Once again, acting like the tip of the spear. He's going to play way ahead of his teammates' utility. Nobody coming in from heaven. He's gonna relay that information. Tell them that stairs is the more likely area where you will find more aggression over here.
Adapt or die!
Okay, buying a lot more time. Laughlin kind of trapped, but he's got the shorty. He at least gets the one trade.
Last player
Everyone
standing.
else now gonna move in. They know where Caramel is. Uses the smoke to cover up one angle at the very least. Tucks himself into the corner, but Contra's heard him. Tries to pre-fire him around the corner as well, but nothing will be possible. Even time is against him. So yes,
Switching
ROG
sides.
Academy do get the lead in this round. I'm sorry, in this half. But the last round goes in the favor of Asterisk Academy. Saves themselves from a 4-8 half.
Well, ROG Academy did have most of the control of that area, except for the one and only, I would say, problem that ended up occurring was Lavish losing his life there towards the A main side. I think he was in mid-transition from going from the stairs side towards the side. I think he wanted to situate himself deeper on side to fight them, if they come in through there. And while he was going through, he found himself in a bit of a position where he ended up exposing himself to Arrow. 7-5. Pistol round once again. A bunch of ghosts available on ROG. They want to go on the aggression towards C site mainly. Information was gathered. But Lavish and One Tap God gonna walk out of that wall and they're gonna spot one. One Tap God just delivers punishment. And Lavish follows it up. They've got two here, and that's gonna instantly draw the rotations back from the side of the defense. But Arrow still holding on. Redox shows his presence towards outside of B. While the C side's been taken up, Arrow has got so many targets to fire upon. He's gonna have to play this a little safely because he's got people coming behind him. They know where he is. Knife out! I don't know why he didn't expect that somebody's gonna shoot him from sight.
Bigger they are, the harder they
Yeah, and Aero, he just basically let them into the site. He was hoping that he could maybe pull off a sneaky play. They all walked past him. They did not clear the water area. He thought that maybe with him present over there, he could help his teammates come in from waterfall. Maybe they fight the player on mount first and then converge upon the site as like a mini backstab play. But none of that worked out as planned. As ROG Academy, they all just get the elevation, get the angles, and start fighting instantly. And whatever plan Aero was cooking up, whatever instruction he was passing on to his team, that was made redundant very quickly.
ROG Academy want to find and finish this round on the B side. There is smoke being put down, the flanks being watched, and the side pretty much gotten for free. 11 try to slide out and maybe find a bit of an obscure kill. Not gonna happen. The one tap got shots him down. And Lavish, I think he's been hurt here. He knows Arrow's around the side somewhere. Connects the shots. That's a 4v3 now with a weapon. One tap God did not have any weapon, so they didn't even retrieve anything there. And now the remaining three players coming in from the main side, and Sinks manages to take down at least two out of those three. And even damages the third one pretty significantly. Karam is gonna eat that up in the end. 9-5. And ROG Academy feeling pretty confident no matter where they go at this point. Even leaving their players individually alone to take up these fights on towards an aggressive Asterisk Academy. Or just like what Lavish did, just go straight into the C side and take a straight up pistol to pistol fight. It's very clear that they don't mind with their players going on these individual adventures.
Exactly, and that was an adventure and a half for Lavish. Like, his entire team is planting on the B side, but yet he's still lurking around on C mount. I can't even say lurking around. He was running in his position by running around. So yeah, it's just an attempt to destabilize Asterisk Academy by making them question their own decisions, making them question their own sanity about why a player would be towards C while the plant is going down on B. So all those intentions, even I can't tell what's happening in the minds of ROG players. So I don't think Asterisk will have much of an idea either. Love Flame goes in, jumping with the stinger, almost kills Aero. Caramel finishes the job, and that's a lightning fast execute towards the A site. A contact play, if you will. They barely used any utility. Just sent Love Flame in when the moment was right.
Yeah, one tap God could have probably held that on angle for a little longer. 11 and Redox find one each, and he's gonna find a double as well. A little too early to walk into that smoke of yours. Lavish 1v3, 1v4 actually. Manages just to get the one. They will win the buy round here, Asterisk Academy. But ROG managed to get down 2 weapons, put down a plant as well. They've got pretty good money in the next round.
Yeah, and they've won like 2 rounds in a row back to back. They didn't even lose many of their members in the first 2 rounds, so they did not really need to reinvest. And now they can afford to purchase a full buy. Like, at best, they will have to compromise by purchasing a regen shield rather than a
No,
full
he's
shield,
got
which is also
he's got money
fine.
for a full shield as well. He's just going for the regen shield just because.
Just because, yeah. Maybe because he knows he's gonna have to face all these players who are pushing you with Phantoms and Vandals, so you can survive the encounters and get regen again. You're not gonna face an outlaw over here, so you don't really need to worry about that. So while he keeps his position marked and he rotates in time, Lavish is trying to trigger this Vice Fall. Pays for it with his life instead. Zon with the paranoia.
Oh my god.
Lovely work of holding them at bay. A return paranoia blinds him instead, but Aero, he is well in position to stop this attack. Can he do it? Gets overwhelmed, runs out of bullets. He's
Oh
decayed.
no,
The
team flash! Oh no, it was
is
not a team
amazing.
flash. Never mind.
No, it wasn't. It was a lovely flash from Contra. And it helps Aero at the best possible moment. He was in a dire situation over there behind the pillar with no bullets and his primary weapon. Decayed, marked for death. He should have been dead over there. But Redoxin, sorry, not Redoxin, it's Contra actually, wearing a cape like a superhero, comes into the rescue.
Brilliant round. Asterisk Academy holding on to that seaside really well. Especially the fact that Lavish got caught out there towards B. It secured them so much more ease to kind of hold on to that B side. Try to trigger that wall. Oh, never mind. Lavish takes a revenge. And he takes it personally, like you said. But Aero
Oh my god.
finds 3 of his own.
Standing.
Lavish comes back, swings out, and he makes it a 2v1. This round has come down to just 3 players remaining from 10
planted.
within just the first 15 seconds and make that 2 remaining as we're already done. What the hell just happened? Both the teams decided to just, I don't know, go out towards B.
Yeah, both of them just called, hey guys, let's try to push out B, man. Let's see what happens. In fact, that's a reasonable call from Asterisk Academy, considering that ROG have been playing very passively, at least in the first few seconds of the round. They have one tap god generally holding for an A push, everyone else holding for a C push. So they know that ROG Academy will be still somewhere in spawn. We can try to face them. And they knew that ROG Academy were on an eco, so they could have used the superior weaponry to win the round, but they did not know that ROG would pull up with 2 shotguns up in your face, a Judge and a Bucky to boot. Yeah, there's no way your Phantoms and Vandals are winning against that push. Not at that range.
Bring them down.
Probably just to confirm whether they're still here or not. And yeah, the answer is what you would expect. Both the Viper utils up. This could mean anybody has crossed.
the
Oh
ultimate
my
comes
god,
through
one
as well.
tap god just spams him through. And now there's the Rolling Thunder as well. So this
Oh
could be
no,
a devastating
11.
affair.
11.
Sheesh.
He just kind of went a little too far out with the ability in his hand. Caramel, okay, then I don't know why Contra just chose not to fire a bullet there. Caramel found himself out in the open. Aero still finds 2. But it is still a 1v3 clutch. Zon's done a number before this. He's done a 1v2. But a Stinger, 3 players against him. He's got a flash to work with. And now he's been spotted as well. Takes out 1. Switches over to the classic. Does have the paranoia still available. Reloads it up. A close range fight. Not in your way. I was going to say sinks, but he's just a little too quick on the trigger.
Yeah, I would not be brave enough to push a Stinger like that. Sinks is clearly braver than I am. But yeah, that's another round for ROG Academy, and most of it was on the back of just intercepting Asterisk's aggression. Asterisk had all the advantage in the world, man. Like, they were supposed to not lose their duelist at all.
Yeah.
The Rolling Thunder from Contra should have set up 11 for a lovely multi-kill, but he just gets shut down by one tap god, who also managed to get a kill before that for free without even looking at his enemy. Viper just spamming through his own Viper smoke. Like, he clearly has poison vision.
ROG Academy expected another B push this time around. As you can see, there's two players still standing. Three actually. The Fade was sitting there as well. And they were sitting on a very, very long triple sight line towards B main. But nothing of that sort coming through because they knew it was an eco. One tap God triggers the door outside of A. Just become the victim of a stun. Manages to take out a lot of utility from the side of Asterisk Academy here. And now he's going to allow his team to get into the C side. They do have a Wise on the back of this box who's going to do nothing but give himself up. Quad spawn they push. The judge is going to do just about enough towards the end. And it's going to follow up. No sinks. He's just a little too quick and a little too precise with his aim. La Flame, just a good for one here. Redox, I think the max he's going to manage to get here is probably 2.
Goodbye.
The first one's come
That's
through.
one.
Yeah, Sinks is right around the corner. And now they're going to start pushing him in. They don't want him to survive with the Guardian. They don't want him to survive with anything. Yeah, and he's gone. 12 to 7.
To actually get some.
Pretty similar to the previous map now.
Match point.
Technically, yeah, it is exactly the same. Last game was also 13-7. That is, if ROG Academy managed to win this round and end the game right away, this will push us to split. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a best of 3. We will be playing all 3 maps regardless of who wins the first 2. Early smoke by one tap God. He's been putting this up quite a lot, so this will help them cross over. But they will not actually cross over. Meanwhile, Aero, nice shot onto Lavish, manages to get the kill early on.
Poison's off. Toxin screen down.
One tap God. He found a kill previously in the pistol round here when he sat down. Yeah, and he's going to get it again. Zon just not having a good time on top of that rubble here. Especially when one tap God's on the other side of that crosshair.
Activated.
Arrow once again left alone to tend to the C side. He's gonna waste a bit of time with his Razor Wines. There is a rotation coming through. 11's gonna join him in a couple of seconds. But La Flame is gonna trigger the wall and they're just gonna wait now. Arrow just make sure to check that nobody's coming close. Steel Garden's in his hands, so he's holding on. The flash gives nothing. And he actually goes ahead to commit it.
I really thought he wouldn't use the ultimate, especially since the flash did not really do anything. So that kind of tells you that nobody is around you. So yeah, the Steel Garden accomplishes nothing. So now it's just up to Contra. Armed with a Bulldog, he's just gonna go for info peaks.
30 seconds
The moment he
left.
sees someone, he's gonna disengage and call his teammates over back towards the A side. Hopefully, they should be able to race ROG Academy to the side before they step foot inside.
Last player standing.
That showstopper was dealt with promptly. And Caramel, yeah, sure, he's good for 1, but instantly they will take care of him. And Asterisk Academy, just a step ahead every single time. ROG fakes towards C, and they figured out that it's a fake the moment they are spotted. The moment Contra's Jiggle Peak gives them some information, Asterisk Academy race over towards the A site just in time to stop them from planting.
Well, there's a bunch of ultimates available on this. What could be the final round of this game? Viper Spit, which we've not seen do much of, except just in the first half, we saw it the one time from One Tap God. Individually, while he's been shooting pretty well this map, I think his Viper Spit might be the one that secures a game, though. He is all by him lonesome towards that A main side, and he's gathered a lot of information that, guys, A is completely free. They've not tried to aggress here. We should probably start moving that way, and the utility that comes in here has secured that information as well. One Tap God flashes him out. He's gonna go through the Razor Wines. Arrow not ready for it. Did not expect him to be sitting in his own molly. And that's gonna give them the first bout. The Viper Spit on towards Heaven. That's a very heavy commitment to shut off a complete part of the map here. And one after the other, they keep falling. Caramel's gonna secure a little bit deeper line here as he's just gonna pinch them from the other side. Takes out one. The other's been known as well. Redox, while he's good for 1, good for 2, he will not find a third. 13-8 as we repeat score lines, ladies and gentlemen. ROG Academy win the second map, and we have a split yet to play.
Yeah, Love is just spraying, running and gunning in the end because he knew that he has this game in the bag. Basically started to have a little fun towards the end. And ROG Academy, they win this game on the back of the same strat which failed for them in the previous round. They once again went for several fakes. They basically baited out all the positions and the utility of Asterisk Academy towards the C side
Yep.
and then immediately rushed towards A while the defenses were weak.
Absolutely. And ROG Academy, again, picking up on that second half a lot more confidently, giving, the space for them to play with. ROG had one tap God in the most efficient positions. I think he got a kill almost every single round. I'm not sure. But towards the end, the last 4 or 5 rounds at least, he managed to get a kill every single round. On top of everything, his Viper Spit was active towards the end. That Heaven ult, I thought they would go for the side ult, but I really enjoyed the fact that they go in for a more aggressive ult. Then there's a Nightfall on the back of it. Not to mention that you also have an Omen teleporting on the back of you as well. So really well placed, well put to use ultimates there from ROG Academy to finish off this game. But in the first half, man, Asterisk Academy were giving them a blow for every blow that they received.
Yeah, Asterisk Academy was really just keeping up with them quite well. In fact, the rotation speed for Asterisk Academy was a little too much for ROG to deal with because on several occasions, ROG Academy would go in aggressively and they would try to get these fights in their favor, but it just simply wouldn't happen, right? Like, you still somehow get caught off guard. So, Asterisk Academy, they were able to get into these sites quite well before ROG could even rotate, and that's one area where they had ROG beat. But then there were instances where in post-run situations, Asterisk Academy would try to play a lot more aggressively than initially required, which is probably because they planted in a way which requires a lot more space. And in those kind of rounds, ROG would always manage to win the power struggle.
Yeah, Asterix. I thought after the 7-5 half, it would be a little bit more competitive in the second half, but unfortunately for them, ROG were just overpowering them in almost every single round. Like I said, one tap God. Look at every round he managed to get a kill, man. Almost every single round. And then there were moments where Asterisk Academy were themselves a little questionable with their approaches at times. A lot of their defaults relied on the fact that they were getting Arrow to find a bit of, I would say, a miracle moment by himself, because he did that on the attack, right? He got so many multi-kills on the attack in the first couple of rounds, and then he kind of slowed down. But then on defense, they still trusted him to hold down that A side all by himself, which he did a round or two.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just, you can't keep expecting him to do that every single round.
Yeah, I mean, Aero was doing God's work over there, man. He was an absolute menace to deal with. There were so many instances where he held down the side by himself, but you're right. Can't do that every single time. I mean, eventually you will figure out how to counter him. And ROG Academy, there were instances where after they figured out what Singh's setup looked, Aero's setup looked like, they just completely went around it. Sometimes literally even disrespecting it to the extent where they were standing inside the razor vine to fight him. So if you keep repeating that again and again, it's not gonna work for you.
Surprising that
Take a look at
one
these
tap god.
stats.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Exactly.
one tap god's got 7 first bloods as a Viper. That's more than both the duelists combined.
Yeah, I think what was happening is that towards the second half, One Tap God was just often being stationed towards the A main area.
Yeah.
And every time Asterisk Academy, while they were on defense, they would come pouring in towards Rubble. One Tap God would just hold that area.
Yeah, and he managed to get
And
multiple.
yeah, he would get first kills quite often over there. And this was after One Tap God was being pressured with the Prowlers, the Fade utility, the Breach utility. Sometimes even the Neon stuns would actually hit him, and One Tap God would just, make it look like a cosmetic stun.
Yeah.
So there were several occasions where One Tap God, simply on the basis of his aim, was just getting a lot done. And he technically wasn't even opening up the fight for his team. It was him punishing Asterisk's aggression.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that he, had a very important role to play in the sense that when Asterix were making a mistake, he was there to capitalize upon it. Like, for example, that one
Yes.
round where they had the breach ult where Levin kind of just went out. He didn't slide, but he had his, ultimate, sorry, not his ultimate, his ability in his hand where he's running around. He just did not pull out the gun at time. He was alone there. It was one tap god, I think, who got him there. And there were multiple rounds like these where Asterix, very tiny mistakes. Again, duels that they're giving up in terms of what could be solved with a little bit of experience, a little bit of just more practice. That's exactly what the show match is gonna, award them. I'm pretty sure when Asterisk Academy go back and watch this WOD, they're gonna realize, yes, there are gaps that are opening up for just one player to take a duel on another, which again, you don't want these 50-50s, especially not against a team that has been working for the last 6 months straight. Excuse me, has been really on the grind. Individually they've been improving. They've been a little bit more free flowing with their gameplay as well. They've gotten adaptability very strongly into their gameplay. You would want to kind of counter them with a multi-peak, but I understand the fact that it's not as possible to peak as quickly as a Neon, of course, because the Neon's going to be way ahead of you. But they need to set up a pattern where the Neon takes in the distraction amount and you have, the other player coming in as the finishing amount, right? Which is something that we usually see with, I'm going to say, wow, I completely forgot the name of it. SPG, which is Nongshim now. They do that with Dambi really well. Like, where of course, he gets the showbiz skills. But if you notice quite a bit of times, he's the one who kind of that distracts so much distance between himself and his team. But the team is right there in a spot where they're visible to the opponent, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, he never extends ahead of their reach.
Yeah, either he gets the kill or they get the kill. So I think Asterisk Academy have the capability of playing in that play style. I'm talking about just purely trade, not at that speed, but it's just a little bit more work that they need to focus on. And now I'm excited to see what they've got on Split. Is it going to be another Neon again? Raze, maybe? I feel like the obvious choice would be Raze. What do you think, Krips?
I do think that they could go for the Neon once again. I don't think I've seen them play Raze before, so I wouldn't expect a Raze. But if they surprise us by picking something entirely else, like, I don't know, maybe like a Jet or a Yoru, then I would actually be happy.
Just to remind you folks, ladies and gentlemen, that last time ROG Academy played Split, it was against .exe. They beat them 13-2. So it's quite the, I would say loved map by their side. Let's have a look at the composition.
I think they're loving it a little too much because they're going for something extremely wacky. The alien select will be on your screen in a second, and take a look at this. It's a damn triple duelist composition with Caramel playing Clove. I have literally never seen this man pick up Clove.
I don't know if you've seen him pick up Clove, but have you ever seen Lavish pick up a Yoru?
I have not.
Have you seen
no,
One
sir.
Tap God? I think, yeah, I've seen One Tap God on
One Tap God on Raze, yes.
Yeah.
One Tap God on Raze, 2021 vibes, yes. I've seen him on Raze. I've seen La Flame on Neon as well. But I've never seen Lavish on Yoru. In fact, I've never even seen Lavish on a duelist, let alone a Yoru of all duelists.
Well,
he started off his journey in ROG Academy as a SOA main.
Yeah.
SOA exclusively, SOA and Fate, like info initiators. And then we made him switch over to the Sentinel as well because we needed some adaptability. And now
he's a flex.
As a Yoru, yeah. Like, there's so many gaps in this composition. There's absolutely nothing for information.
Yeah, the only thing that can hold on to is towards mid, and it seems like Lavish doesn't really care about it. He's just going to go for the fight straight up there towards that B side. La Flame has a shorty, gives away the fact that he's got a shorty. Throws in the fast lane, doesn't matter, sinks, gets 3 by just spamming through the smoke. Asterisk Academy must be feeling horrible about that.
Yeah, how are they losing to that, man? Like, that was a lovely triple kill.
All 3 were through by the smoke. Not even all 3 were through the smoke.
Yeah, he had no vision. Like, was there like an?
I think maybe a split second he saw.
Caramel didn't smoke, like.
Sorry.
Was that Caramel smoke?
Yeah, of course it was Caramel smoke. Yeah, it was a close smoke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
man, that was so fast. I didn't even register that.
It seems like now they're going towards the A side, but ROG Academy not too keen on aggressing towards A. They've got the Outlaw station there, while the 2 duelists that are on the B side have gathered an orb, cleared out most of it, and while Sinks has got a bit of information towards mid, the wall's been triggered as well. it's still Lavish who might end up taking the first contact. But there is a fault line that could discourage him. And right as I said, he does throw in the gate crash to get away for safety measures here. And he gets two. Of course
Oh
he
my
does.
god.
A.
Wow. Wow. And now Love Flame
Okay.
feeling a little too cocky for his own good. With the Bucky goes inside like that.
Yeah, the spike still towards A, by the way. And this is a full fake that they're going to have to give respect to. Karam has taken out 11. And one player's crawled in towards spawn, which Sinks is fully aware of. And that should give the opportunity for Phantom. Okay, now we've got a fourth player. We've got another player coming in now.
Oh yeah, I just noticed. Like they've been switching out their fifth player quite a lot.
30
11
seconds
Redox and
left.
Contra Aero have been playing since a while, but they started off with RBS. And
Zon
the
next.
switched lineup in Lotus, and now Phantom, a completely new guy, has stepped in.
Yeah, he should be managing to get the Yoru and the plant as well.
10 seconds
Just maybe
left.
throw down a smoke. Nah, he's just gonna go for the plant. Maybe save the utility for the next round because you will get money.
Spike planted.
Does put down a smoke. Plays around with the opponent's smoke as well. Flash is not gonna provide them with anything, but Phantom still
There.
holding on. The smoke to dissipate. If he manages to even drop one, never mind. I was gonna say if he manages to drop even one more weapon, it would be a really good round actually for Asterisk Academy. But they've still gotten a
It's decent.
Guardian on the floor. Never mind. The Outlaw on the floor. They're not gonna go for the Outlaw. It's still
Yeah,
good
they're not
amount
gonna pick it
of money that Lavish is gonna have to reinvest into.
Yeah, but instead, Lavish is gonna buy a Bucky, and Love Flame's gonna buy a Judge. Okay, this is a little too chill for my taste.
As long as they hold, I mean, to be fair, this is the only map where you would expect to have shotguns of this kind in multiple numbers.
But two?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
why not?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Yeah, why not? It's only a split that you can make it work on. Early aggression, Love Flame ignoring the nades. He thought someone was inside the smoke, but actually no, it's just arrow towards spawn.
Yeah, and he's gonna run absolutely far away from there, making sure he's holding on to any sort of pokes coming in further behind that neon. Not gonna be the case. Redox finds the close side of the B side clear. Sinks still on site, hoping for a kill. Managed to get one. Nobody coming on the back of that pillar there. And Phantom, if he does come in now, it's going to be a far bit too late. Lavish already manages to get one. Phantom, he's hearing all of these sound cues, but he can't do much of anything except for just sit
Spike
here.
down B.
He's not even making a movement of any sort, and Arrow's going to help him out for a second. He gets away in the smoke. Lavish, a little confused for a second. But it's still a 2v3 in the hands of ROG Academy. The fake was
Oh my God.
brilliant. Arrow and Phantom find one each. And that's going to be a 1v2 now, converted from a 3v2. And Arrow stands tall again. This guy has been leading his team from the front. And when it...
And he does it so well, man. Like,
Yeah.
he used Phantom's fake jump teleport as a way to get his enemy pinged on the minimap. And then he just looks at his minimap, sprays in the general direction, gets the kill onto Lavish. Wow.
That was a bit of a doozy from ROG Academy. Should have won that round. Maybe your too chill comment was correct after all.
Yeah.
Placing wall trap.
Map of all this time used towards A. Will Sinks disrespect it and go ahead? Will it even be put up? That's the bigger question. They used the clone to trigger the wall. That's baiting out the utility a little too early. The other Yoru clone will be sent across towards the B main area. Hopefully somebody shoots it and gives away information, but Asterisk Academy hold their trigger.
There is a Steel Garden available on Sinks, so any kind of projections on this A side can be very easily dealt with. Pistols is all they'll be reduced to, and as far as we've seen, Asterisk Academy really need their guns right now, but this Judge here will most likely go unchecked, and it shall... No, 11 actually get... Wait, what?
Spike down A.
How's that just
11 goes
happened?
all the way in. Uh-oh, this is gonna catch the majority of them. No weapons available. This is the time for ROG Academy to capitalize on this
One
advantage
enemy
and get all of them down.
30
Only Aero
seconds left.
survives. He's recovered his gun, but he can't recover the spike from that position. Not unless they all offer him 1v1s, but now he's been discovered. Lavish has the utility out in hand, but he still manages to get the trade in the end. Buys enough time for himself and his team.
Brilliant ultimate from Sinks there. The timing was perfect because they could have gone to the back of side and I think dodged it. But he found the absolute perfect timing right before they were still in the lobby, wondering if they should go into the side, checking every corner. Really well done from the young man there. 3-1. They've got an ultimate on Lavish now. That's going to give them a lot of information. And it seems like they might be holding on to it just for a later part of the round because they are going on that same aggression towards B main just to find nothing but air in front of them because mid is where Asterisk Academy are a little more focused towards. Lavish has crawled in through. Contra's gonna just have to concede that because Lavish can actually crawl past him if he wants to.
He gets back. Oh, there's a decoy to guard him. So the moment the shotgun hits, he gets blinded as well. Caramel taking things a little into his own hands now. Discovers that mid has been breached and he's going to do anything it takes to get this area back under control. But Phantom, lovely shot with the Sheriff and he doubles up onto both Caramel and Lavish. What a way to decimate the mid setup. Sinks coming in from behind, has the timing. But no, he gets distracted by the footsteps. Imagine if he did not peek out in the open over there. If he managed to kill Breach and cut the spike loose, that would have been a very clutchable round.
Yeah. Phantom though saved this round for Asterisk Academy by taking out 2 very good kills. And it seems like this little bit of a timeout from ROG is going to just kind of probably being told from his coach, you know what guys, let's just not start going a little way too off, towards a skewer. Let's keep this in check. Let's have fun, yes, but also let's win the game, please. We do have 3 duelists, so what can we do here? Should we give the Yoru a judge and tell him to go on a bit of a hunting mission? Do we follow him up? Do we follow him up with 2 duelists on the other end, or do we follow him up on the same side? A lot of options to be taken in here because that Yoru ultimate we know is very powerful. But what do you think is more powerful on Crips? Do you think it's a wiser choice of an option to send your Yoru out on a mission with 2 players or maybe 1 player behind him to get 1 stray kill and get back, or to hold on to that ult for a retake scenario?
I think in a retake scenario,
Okay,
if you
what the hell is this?
Yuck. That is absolutely disgusting. It's an abomination. Lavish, please get rid of it. You know what? I will leave this VC, go into ROG VC and tell him, please stop doing that. Should I do it?
No,
even Six is doing it. Is it a bug on
What?
my end? It's
No.
not a bug on my
They've
end,
all
definitely.
done it. They've all done it.
They've all done it.
Next.
Okay.
I think AKG just told
clearly
them,
devolved.
you know what? Go ahead, go crazy.
11 getting a lot of information with that ultimate. He spotted almost every single player of ROG Academy, but diving in towards mid, he dies, loses his life. 11 and Phantom finally pop out and manage to get the kills, but ROG Academy is all over the place. They also have discovered quite a lot. Like, look at Caramel, look how far deep he is inside. Phantom holding the angle. And Caramel pre-fires him across the corner, knows exactly where he would have been. I think Contra is kind of trapped over here. The flashes could rescue him, but the judge.
Oh boy.
Will they fight him in range? No, they won't. 11 loses his footing as he tries to descend onto the box below. And in that process, he messes up his aim as well.
How in the hell did ROG end up winning this?
Thrifty.
They got the advantage of the first 2 kills, but somehow, some way, it's just gone around in terms of aim. He just crouch peeks the first, and then the second as well. 11 just did not get out of his bird's nest there. Now ROG have 2 more ultimates to work with. The Showstopper and a second Caramel, which is always a dangerous thing.
I think Caramel is too serious to use those silly crosshairs. He's never going to use that. Oh, but one tap god, he's going to do something
Oh, no.
worse. He's going to use the whole Showstopper. And the judge invading into their faces. There's absolutely no room left.
What?
11 can't even find safety behind that wooden box.
Exterminated.
It's all up to Aero.
Yeah, he's got
It's
nothing.
always been him.
Yeah, unfortunately. Oh, never mind. I thought he would not be able to get that there, but he will not commit the ultimate either. They're just jumping around now.
Enemy remaining.
4 down.
Oh my god.
No
Oh
way,
my
not
god.
again.
This happened.
Not
Oh, this is the second
again.
time.
This is the second time. Yeah, exactly. Like second time in 2 maps he uses a big situation. Could have been a clutch, but he runs out of bullets.
Well, ROG Academy, it seems like
One enemy remaining.
while the gods of Valorant are in your favor,
One enemy remaining.
Aero's still pretty strong on his. And it's the exact same scenario as well. He got the 4K, was a 1 away from the ace, loses out on bullets. I don't know why Aero's mind doesn't go. Maybe I should switch to the pistol.
All set.
Oh my god, Sinks. What the hell are you doing with these crosshairs?
Okay, he's still getting killed somehow. That's absolutely ridiculous. I can't even see the enemy's faces. He's
What?
still getting kills.
Lavish?
Triple for Lavish.
Oh,
Oh, nice shot by Redox. And finally somebody put his shenanigans to an end. But then Caramel uses a flying raise as a distraction, and that is all that they need to put Aero in a 1v3 again. Oh my god, that could have been a collateral. But ROG Academy seems like they've got this map down under lock and key.
yeah. Split is very clearly a map that they love dearly. Love pushing in down mid, love taking control. Fights are all of their own. Doesn't even matter what Asterisk Academy put up now. I feel like a little bit of a judge play from Asterisk Academy also could help them. I feel like one of them should pick up a shotgun at this point, man. If they're pushing this aggressively towards every single angle that you've seen on the map, might as well hold down one with a judge and just let them come to you.
I mean, that's a viable strat, but then ROG might just pull off judges of their own. Like, look at La Flame. He's got a judge and no pistol to go along with it. With all the money that they have, I thought he would at least have bought a sheriff as a secondary. But nope, not that either. Break the Seekers with the judge. Now he dares them to push ahead.
What the hell is 11 doing?
11 calls the bluff. He goes ahead. I don't think he wanted to teleport there. But Lavish, he's going to use the dimensional drift and discover every single player. Well, almost every player. Flash, he's going to pop out, ready to fight here. That was way too ballsy. But he still gets one. The cojones is on these people, man. They sometimes surprise me.
Caramel.
Caramel still playing discipline.
Yeah, needs to be careful
Inside the
though. He's
smoke.
in the smoke. He's got a player on the other side. Spots him out, takes him out. A little lucky. Phantom mechanics helped him there. But now he's got another Phantom to kill. And they are pretty split up. There are ultimates available on both these players. And while A side's completely empty, and I
30
think the
seconds
Viper's going to
left.
discover that in a second, Phantom's just trying to sell as much of a fake here as he possibly can. Back he goes. A side cleaned up, and there is a Viper spit available to secure this round further, which will be dropped in towards elbow. And while, yes, it is going to discourage them from coming in from spawn, but that's not where they're coming in from. And the amount of Viper spit that I can see that's right around the spike is very little. So this might end up being a very difficult play for both these players in the Viper split because they're going to have no room to play around the spike. It's going to be off the plant position.
Yeah. And God forbid another judge enters that area. Or a shorty rather. Aero
One
almost
enemy
taken down.
remaining.
He himself is down to
Last
1
player
HP. Knows where Caramel is. And they're just jiggling around each other. They're playing hide and seek in this thing. And Aero seeks Caramel. Seeks revenge. Another clutch for this guy. And he's been keeping the hope of his team alive.
Yeah, considering that most of Asterisk Academy are just not able to handle the sheer aggression of ROG Academy, Aero's been on top of things right now. And once again, it's a couple of Buckies on the map. We've got Lavish with one, we've got La Flame with one. The remaining three playing on half armor, Vandals, and Phantoms. But the aggression here, Caramel just outright finds 11 like it's nothing. One tap god. Very, very itchy for a fight here. He's got one to his right though. I don't know if he expects him there. I don't think they checked Phantom here. Do they? They absolutely do.
They do. They're still diligent.
They're gonna go through. Get another one tap. God's gonna throw in the nade as well right before. Arrow once again. A 3k in his hands. A fourth that could be looming around the corner. Caramel discouraging him from giving him any more than this. They know that the Neon's here as well. They've seen already that the Clove's here. Now they're just gonna wait and kind of give away time for the fact that, yeah, let them believe that we're going towards B. No. Laflame spots one.
What was that fast lane though?
I think it was, he just missed it. I thought he probably felt that one's gonna come on the flank. He didn't see the Viper, the Sky yet. So he probably thought he's gonna come in from Winds. Just to give him a bit of a hint that, yeah, we know where you are, but not gonna be the case.
30
Back
seconds.
towards.
Yeah, just a little
B,
bluff. He's rotating too fast. They know where he is, and he's telegraphed his position. Aero with the Quadra. Can he finally get the ace this time? It's been looming on the horizon for him, but he always misses it by a narrow margin. And this would be the perfect way to start the comeback, the most poetic way for Asterisk Academy to get back in this game. Aero is already sitting on 17 kills, 6 deaths, miles ahead of anyone in the
Last
server.
player standing.
Oh no, he looks away at the worst possible moment. What? Caramel drops down onto Redox's head.
Oh my god.
That ace should have been absolutely in his pocket. There's no way Caramel should have been able to clutch that, but the timing is just so unfortunate. He looks away exactly when Caramel's about to peek him. So Aero doesn't get the ace. But at the same time, Redox knew exactly where Caramel would be, and Caramel at first did not spot him. I thought that would be it. I thought that would be the end. But he just turns around mid-air and plants a bullet in his brain.
That's crazy. That shouldn't have happened. That was absolutely unprecedented. I don't know how, but he just manages to find the exact corner where one of them could be sitting.
No peeking.
Now, while Asterisk Academy do have two big ultimates to use themselves, very heavy execute friendly ultimates, they're just gonna wait because they've got a bunch of pistols to play this on. Laflame allowed
So
to pick
brave,
up that
bro.
off.
Grenade.
Yeah, not just the fact that he's allowed to pick it up, but the fact that he continues doing it.
Oh no, 11,
and he
11,
blows
no.
up 11 before he could teleport.
Laflame gets one. Slides in for a second. Will not be able to connect to the third because Aero's a little too quick. Aero with a stinger.
Standing.
And he's got another jet flying his way. And another Bucky coming in his way. Phantom got it. He's got a flank. He's got a front. He's got everything to fight against. 8-3. ROG Academy are just toying with their food.
There's one person who defies them though. One person who refuses to be toyed around with, and it's Aero. And he's been firing on all cylinders, man. If you take a look at the score individually, he's sitting on 18 and 8. Somehow Contra and Redoxin are having a rough time this game. And Contra's utility was quite good in Lotus, but now it's just lackluster.
No peeking.
Ramel hoping for a similar kill as he got 2-3 rounds ago. Through he goes 11. Spots out one, spots out two. Karamel's already gotten one though. He's gonna try to get away. He does have not dead yet. He doesn't seem like he needs it, but he will be able to pop it down. He's going through towards mid. Caramel will get taken down though. Aero's gonna find him. Phantom 11. And final teammate just find them here. They don't check copy by the way. They haven't checked copy. They've still not checked under. Aero's gonna stand. They get a third. One tap guard's gonna get the trade as well. It's all on Phantom. Does have the ultimate, but no spike available. Will get the first, but the judge is too quick to follow up. And it's a 9-3 half.
Switching sides.
As Laflame's telling his opponents to forfeit the game.
Oh, that stun was insane though, and the fact that Phantom manages to get a kill while he's stunned, that's amazing. I mean, I wouldn't have expected much of him considering he was in a very difficult situation being hunted down like that. But still, that was impressive nonetheless. 9-3 from ROG Academy. Let's see if they can keep up this dominance in the second half.
Oh boy, here we go. Second half starts as we've got once again the triple duelist. Got the triple duelist starting up the attack on towards A main. La Flame already has control of ramp. He's got multiple targets though, and they're just spamming him through the wall. He just does not care. Moves straight through, finds a frag, and loses out in his life. Lavish is also going to go down here, but no, he teleports back towards B, and the B side's completely open. This is a 3v4 that's completely doable for the side of ROG Academy because Sinks is on the aggress and he's not going to find anything though. The remaining two will also move in through as soon as they've got the reload. For some reason, the second pick does not come through because Caramel is waiting for a multi-kill opportunity. Will not be given to him. 9-4. And yeah, ROG Academy will unfortunately have to give this one up.
That was a good start for ROG Academy, especially with La Flame sliding across the Viper utility to get the kill with the shorty. And he's been spamming the shorty all throughout the show match, especially with them also invading the clove smoke to get the better of them. They got a bunch of good kills, and this should have been a good round for ROG in that 3v4 situation, even though they had the numbers disadvantage. Because they managed to completely bamboozle the members of Asterisk, and they use the Yoru like it's supposed to be used. Use him as a bait on one side and then teleport to join your team on the other. Outlaws on hand. 11. Good for one. Runs out of bullets, but La Flame with the Bucky gets a single frag. Aero has been spammed down quite a lot, but he's still keen on fighting towards mid. And Lavish is just firing helter-skelter. It's up to Sinks now. If he drops the spike over here, this could be the end of the round.
Yeah, but it's still going to be a very difficult round for them to get into. I mean, I'm pretty sure the end point here should be the fact that they either give up their lives or drop as many weapons as they can, because staying alive here makes no sense.
There.
Prop comes in.
Just go down swinging.
Yeah. They know that the Viper's low, and Viper's the farthest away from them at the moment. Phantom's gonna throw down that smoke of his just to make sure that the Viper's op covers it up.
One enemy.
And they go through the smoke, and Contra's ready for both of them. Takes down both. That's gonna be 9-5, but they're still a world away from where they need to be. Good start for Asterisk Academy, but now there's a full-fledged buy round coming their way with 3 duelists. And if they rush in together, and it seems like they are, all 5 of them look to probably go towards A side, and there's absolutely nothing to stop them in terms of Sentinel utility because they've got no Sentinels.
Yeah, they've got no Sentinels. Meanwhile, they can at least use the Viper as a super Sentinel. That Viper's wall could probably discourage them from coming in instantly. But Redoxin gets destroyed with that judge. Phantom with the Spectre at least has been able to maintain control of a Heaven. But take a look at La Flame. He's going up close and personal. He's using the stun to close in the distance, and one tap god uses it to use the Phantom and get those kills as well. And he's using La Flame as a literal human decoy to get all these kills. But this could be an opportunity. Oh yeah, never mind. As long as Caramel did not get that kill, Aero could have recovered the Phantom, and that would have been a possible clutch, but they stop him before it's too late. But yeah, I like how One Tap God is literally using La Flame as a human decoy.
Yeah.
They're like, the Yoru clone is not enough. I need a clone that can move around at lightning speed.
Well, he's just got support in the most loyal form possible. He needs it all the way down, and Lavish is like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna be there. I will do it for you. Here we go. Once again towards that A main side, and the slide doesn't even touch the ground as 11 takes down La Flame. Nade still held in hand, not gonna commit it just yet to hold off any pushes, but Asterisk, they've given the information amount that there's a Yoru here, there's a breach here as well. Now they know there's one on that, and One Tap God just follows it up. He uses that once again, a clone to perfection. And 11, he's just being toyed with. Flash on the back. Lavish is just loving this judge. He's just running around with a shotgun, killing everybody.
Yeah, and usually you would expect La Flame to do this, but he picks up what La Flame dropped, carries the flame forward. That torch passed on towards your other duelist. The torch in this case being a judge, which is burning ablaze, and there's not much that Phantom can do here except just save his gun. He's still gonna attempt it. Spots the barrel. Wait, does one tap god not see him?
I don't think so. I
Now
don't
he
think-
does.
Now he's here. Yeah, that he's just gonna get away from here. And they're gonna try and chase him as much as they can. Push down the smoke as well. But they actually don't care. They're just gonna run him through as much as they possibly can. They're just jumping around, going up to heaven. They're gonna have to ignore the back of spawn region here, as Phantom is going to survive while holding a Vandal. But again, Lavish. It started off with one tap God just flying in and finding this breach, and then Lavish just running with a judge. And even at the distance that he's been getting these kills is
It's
kind of a
ridiculous,
doozy,
right?
yeah.
Like, he's speaking from screens, and his opponent is at the mouth of a heaven. That's
Yeah.
not a judgeable distance.
Well, according to him, it is.
Yeah. He must be judged red. He's using that to such a level. La Flame going so deep inside, and 11 meets a
my
judge on
God.
the other end. And now the lightning fingers come out. Run, Sky, run. Redawson has nothing that he can do over here. Aero somehow still keeping himself alive, even though Lavish like crossed him. Will finally be killed by Sinks.
Enemy remaining.
And while
Oh my
all this is
God.
happening towards the A side, the spike has gone down on B. Completely
does it really
bamboozling
matter?
their opponents.
Does it really matter?
If you even plant the spike, yeah, no, it doesn't.
Match point.
It doesn't matter where the spike is, irrespective. They're just running it down. And to be very fair, I would love to see Lavish try a fake clone right now. Just just for the sake of
Just
it.
for the sake of it?
Yeah, just for the sake of it,
Yeah.
just see what you can pull off. See what you can do. Try to be a fake
Just
clone. Fake
walk.
clone.
Walk in a straight line. Hold W, let go of your mouse, let go of your A and D keys.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely kill by 11. Laughling continuing to plunder and invade.
Ooh, La Flame.
Stun could be great, but Contra, he's escaping. He doesn't want anything to do with the judge. Wants no business with it whatsoever. Caramel keeps himself alive. Dodges the ultimate though, but there's a backstab on the way
What
as
in
well,
the
and
world?
it has been dealt with. Now Lavish gets an ult of his own. He can go across the other side of the map, but that kind of leaves Sinks trapped over here. Nope, he's gonna stay loyal to Sinks. He's gonna stay here. Sinks knows that he's one CT. The other
And
one
one
could be heaven.
I wish that was a fake clone. It would have been wonderful to watch. Phantom.
One enemy.
He's gonna take the fight. Lavish wins the first. Lavish gets away. He teleports to the backer side. Is that a real teleport? Is that a fake teleport?
Blinded.
Redox knows it's a real one, but Lavish is just gonna play around with it. No, he's not gonna be able to. Redox wins out at least round number 6 for his team. As ROG Academy, on the back of a little playfulness, will. Oh, okay.
Deserved, honestly deserved. Like,
That's not Lavish.
Lavish
though.
has been toying around with his
No, that was not
opponents a
Lavish
little
though.
too
That's
much.
not Lavish. That was 11. That's 11. That's his own teammate.
He's oh yeah, he's disrespecting his own opponent, his own teammate rather. And that is after 11 managed to get the first blood.
Yeah.
That is not deserved. That is absolutely not deserved. Bad boy.
Well, they do have 2 ultimates now again. La Flame's got the judge on his hands. And, I mean, one tap god's gonna fly in. Sinks is gonna reduce them of their rifles. There's nothing much you can do here. Nate's coming early. And Phantom's finally picked up a judge of his own. But he's gonna watch 2 players go past him. He could do nothing with that judge. And here comes the 2 big ultimates. And yeah, that's the end of the game right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Unless another 2v4
One
comes up.
enemy remaining.
No.
Unless another 1v4 comes up.
Nope.
Never mind.
Attackers win.
Well, that was a rather anticlimactic finish to this entire show match. The first 2 games, genuinely entertaining. Both the teams
Yeah.
deployed a good
Hey,
mix of strategy.
this
a
was
good
entertaining as well.
Yes, this was, I would say, even more entertaining than the first two games. But in the first two games, it was entertaining in the sense that there was good strategy, good reads from ROG Academy, at least in the map of Haven. ROG Academy was surprising Asterisk by just sometimes dry peeking and catching them off guard. You know, there were plenty of opportunities in the first game where their opponents were not even equipped with their weapons. Then in Lotus, we saw both these teams try to race each other towards the site, and they were just all trying to out-rotate each other. So there was an element of strategy involved over there as well. In Split, ROG Academy strategy was inflict as much chaos damage onto your opponents as you can. Make this round as chaotic as possible and make it impossible for them to keep up. But credit where it's due, Astra still try to keep the match a little sane. They still try to play with a little bit of discipline. Unfortunately, discipline versus chaos, the battle will almost always go in the favor of chaos.
Yeah, especially when you know that the first two maps from ROG Academy were played with as much, understanding of the game and understanding of the opponent as possible. And they said, you know what, guys, maybe the third map deserves a little bit of fun. Now, we should play at least 1 out of 3 maps for fun, right? So they just went all out, jumping around, sliding around, teleporting around, flashing around. And then also, of course, putting in the weirdest goddamn crosshairs I've seen.
Yeah, those are the ugly crosses. Like,
I mean, if
I'm
they
all
really
for having
want,
weird crosses.
if they really want an ugly crosshair, they could come and ask me. I've got one of the worst crosshairs ever known to existence of mankind.
I don't think that's a flex.
No, as in I only use it when I'm trolling. So,
Sure. Okay. I mean, one of my friends just said that default crosshair is the best, but I would agree with Universe over here. I think uglier crosshairs are actually better because then you put an effort into making the crosshair default crosshair, which is easy.
thank you. Yeah, this is a trademark. I made that crosshair.
Yeah. Well, the default cross?
No, the
The
ugly
ugly
one.
one? You have to show it to me in a game that we play ourselves.
I will.
But for now, in these highlights, you can clearly see that in the second half, Asterisk Academy was somewhat in control. Like, the pistol round went in their favor, and Asterisk were actually able to keep up with all the mid-aggression from ROG. But then they diverted that aggression towards A ramps instead, and after that, it was just nearly impossible to keep
Yeah,
up with
because
them.
ROG Academy started going in such weird positions. They started pushing in spawn from mid, from heaven. They took A heaven and they used to go in towards their spawn. Either that, or they sent Laflame saying, you know what, fake that you're going towards their spawn from heaven, then come back and take wins.
Yeah, which is the weirdest pathing you've ever seen.
I'm surprised nobody actually caught him there and he still managed to get away with one. But hey, it is what it is. At the end of the day, ROG Academy will be taking home this Showmatch victory. For the third Showmatch in a row, they have won it and they will be feeling pretty good as they also have a little bit of fun in the way. And we would very much like to thank Asterisk Academy for giving us their time, giving us the time of practice, and also understanding that they also need the practice, and honestly giving us a very entertaining game. They showed us a little bit of what they can do. They had a good amount of strategy, like you said, in the first two maps. The third one, unfortunately, strategy had to be thrown out the window towards the end because of what ROG Academy were doing. But Asterisk Academy, thank you so much for joining us for the ROG show match. It has been a pleasure to host you, and it will be a pleasure to watch you in the future as well.
Yeah, I mean, this team has some very good strategies. As you can see, that they were trying to at least play according to their playbook. They were using all the utilities properly. The trade wasn't too bad. So, all that said, Asterisk Academy did put up a pretty good fight.
Yep.
And if it wasn't for ROG doing random shenanigans like dry picking you, I think Asterisk would have been able to give a much tougher run for their money to ROG Academy. But nonetheless, it was an amazing experience hosting you here in the show match. And ladies and gentlemen, this is not the only show match that we will be hosting. There's still one more left that we will be hosting in a couple of weeks. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon so that you never miss an update from ROG India, especially about the ROG Academy program, which nurtures all these budding players, and hopefully we will turn them into superstars by the end of this season as well. So ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be a part of this revolution, if you want to see the journey of these young players turn into superstars, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel and watch all our show matches as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a lovely show match to cast for you guys. My name is Crips, with me was Universe, and we will see you for the next show match in a couple of weeks.